customer service. Visit ATECHAZ.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's ATECHAZ.com/jobs.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Have you ever wondered why eyeglasses cost so much? The eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company that's kept prices artificially high.
Yikes.
Warby Parker was created to change that. They design and produce their own eyewear and then sell it directly to you for a fraction of the price. Warby Parker's high-quality glasses start at just $95, including your prescription. Try 5 pairs of frames for free. Go to warbyparker.com to pick your 5 frames to try on at home for free. That's warbyparker.com.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great. And I stopped working weekends, thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there.
Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program offer to those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this extended special financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose there in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We're broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, but I got to change my calendar because, by the way, August 1st, it's the first. Don't forget to pay your rent, everybody. Don't forget to pay your mortgage. Don't forget, it's the first. Hey, you don't want them late fees. So there you go. Public service announcement brought to you by me and my mouth. All right, listen, before we get into, we all know that we're going to talk about, I do want to take a moment, more importantly.
Talk about the passing of Bill Russell?
That's exactly what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Bill Russell, he only wanted you to remember he was a man. And he was absolutely a man. That guy was just man of the day over and over and over again. We fawned over Michael Jordan. We fawned over Tom Brady. Bill Russell had like 8 rings. You know what I'm saying?
11.
11. Oh, that's right. I forgot. So he had more rings than he had fingers. Yeah, he had the Presidential Medal of Freedom to go on top of that he got in 2011 for his civil rights efforts. He marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. And he was the cornerstone of the Boston Celtics dynasty. He did this in a place that was, if you think they're racist today, try being Bill Russell in 1960. Well, try being Bill Russell. Listen, he was a basketball player and a man at a time where the color of his skin didn't get him any favors. Nobody alive today, well, okay, nobody playing today or even in recent memory had to go through the sorts of crap Bill Russell had to. So, and then he was a player coach his last few years. And of course, he was with the Supersonics and the Kings. But yeah, he was just an amazing person. I watched this video of him talking with Kobe, and I'm just astounded at how cool a guy this guy is, how smart this guy was, and how through all the adversity, all of the everything he went through, and he got the rings, he got everything, and still, even though the bad stuff, super sweet, nicest guy, just continued on his way. And I guess he'd been, there's no cause of death that I know of that's been released, but they say he died peacefully yesterday at the age of 88. So not a bad score. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad bunch of years for Bill Russell. But yeah, it's a shame. He was an ambassador of the game, and it would have been great to have had him for even more years. But if there's anything that's happening today, this is the most important thing that I think we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better, Jeffrey. What a man. What a basketball player. What a human being. And I never got the privilege or opportunity to meet him. I would have loved to sit and talk with him, just to glean some wisdom from the years that he had and going through the NBA in the early years. I mean, gosh, imagine some of the people that he played against, some of the people that coached him. Red Auerbach. He speaks very fondly of Red Auerbach. The guys he played with and against. It would have been a valuable history lesson. So, yeah, Bill Russell. Clearly, there is a vacuum here on Earth that following his passing.
And I can't help but think about just how lucky that I am that basketball is a sport that I love, and I think that a lot of the ambassadors of other sports I love, like Babe Ruth and Cy Young, those guys are kind of fictional to me to a degree, or legendary, mythical, because I've never seen them speak. I don't know anything about them, or Vince Lombardi in the NFL. But Bill Russell is the ambassador of basketball, and he got to be alive during my lifetime. I mean, this is a guy that dominated the game during the 60s and then turned around, and now, well, not anymore, but he was traveling to always hand the MVP award of the finals to whoever. So he's handed it to Kevin Durant, was able to congratulate Steph recently on getting that. And so that is, that's a lot of rich history from a guy who won 11 championships in only 13 seasons that he played. He didn't play that
8
long.
in a row, by the way. They're 8 in a row. Nobody's done that.
8
what
in a row.
Sport? Nobody.
12-time MVP, 5 MVPs, 12-time All-Star, 5 MVPs for Bill Russell, 10-0 in game 7s. The thing goes on and on. That's not even counting college, where he won 2 championships in 3 years, a gold medal. Bill Russell has done it all, and he did it, like you said, Jeffrey, where the racism was really bad. His daughter told a story one time about how, people broke into their house, wrote racial slurs on the wall, left feces in the man's bed. And he still went out there and dominated at a very high level.
Was Amber Heard alive at that time?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Don't think so. But no, I to be able to shake that off and continue to go out there and play at a high level, I think that we couldn't have asked for a better ambassador for the game of basketball.
But to show you the kind of person Bill Russell is, when they asked him, what do you want your epitaph to be? And he just simply says, Bill Russell, he was a man. That's how he wanted to be remembered. And sorry, Bill, you were way more than just that. You're way more than just that. Yeah. But it says a lot about Bill Russell that's just how he wants to be remembered. He was a man.
Yeah. And for somebody who has all of those accolades, there's just a lot of humility there. Part of the civil rights movement, was under FBI surveillance. I mean, he was going through a lot. I mean, the guy was also a player coach. You name it. There's a bunch of things that Bill Russell is and was that no one will ever be again.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And, I don't like to say, like Big George will say on the Twitter sometimes, well, you'll never get this again. Nobody's going to break that record. No, this is never going to happen again. There's never going to be another one like Bill Russell. there's never going to be another one like Bill Russell. Nobody's going to come in and dominate the game the way he did, win 8 straight titles, 11 out of the 13 years that he was playing, he won titles, and then can continue to be what he was in the game of basketball. You're not getting another one of these. And so every time somebody says, "Oh, is it LeBron? Oh, is it Michael Jordan?" You should really say, "No, it's Bill Russell."
And the reason why we don't even acknowledge Bill Russell is because if you started the conversation with Bill, it would end. There would be no arguing
to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, if we want these conversations to be entertaining and fun, so we ignore the one guy that will literally end the conversation.
Yeah, all I did was post a picture of him with all of his rings and his fingers like this. I win, and he was right. Big Risk says, "What kind of numbers would Bill Russell put up if he played today?" All of them. He would put up all of them.
I agree with that. 110%.
Dear God, it would just not even be close. It would not even be fair. He would not have any. There'd be no resistance like he used to face. You know, if they reincarnate Bill Russell, Russell is going to run the table, and he'll have 20 titles. Seriously, in this very soft version now of the NBA. I can't even imagine.
The man was already one of the great defensive players in the history of basketball. There is the more they create advanced stats, the better it makes Bill Russell look. That's how dominant he was.
Absolutely right.
And the guy, I mean, the way that people talk about him in his prime, he could have been an Olympic athlete. That's how athletic he was. Bill Russell could dominate in today's NBA without question.
Absolutely.
Scratch me because you're right. He says Wilt got laid, Bill Russell got rings, and well, probably laid.
well,
if you can have both. Yeah.
Silver Pop says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy Monday." Yes, well, you're right about one thing. It is Monday. And of course, it's a sad passing. A lot of people died this weekend, by the way. Uhura died. The fat cartoon lady from the Little Mermaid died. I don't know who else, but if you just
the fat cartoon lady,
the lady
from
Ursula from the little
right, who sang the Ursula. I don't know if she was fat in real life, but the cartoon, yeah. Then Bernard Cribbins, a famous British actor. You probably would only know of him here in the United States as an actor on Doctor Who. He was a hell of an acting legend in his own right. He died in his 90s, so that was a good life, and he was beloved all the way through. So, it seems like everybody's dying. So, none of you guys don't go dying on me. That's all I'm saying. Don't go dying.
I'll try not to. Didn't have any plans on it.
All right. I need a promise from you too, Randy.
As far as I know, I'm still alive.
There you go. That's good enough, I guess, for a Monday. Listen, we have entries already for the Feast with the Fanatic contest from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse.
All right.
But here's something I do need to say. When you guys send in your entries, make sure it's under 60 seconds because we don't want to have to clip any of it out because the winner of this contest, we're going to use your commercial on air live. It's not just going to get played on this show. It's going to be played for an entire week on the radio station. So we got to make sure you keep it under 60. That way we don't have to clip out any of your stuff. We can, if you don't have the ability to put music on it or effects, don't worry. Randy's got that covered. But you can speak your spot into the phone. You can take it to the home studio and just do whatever you want, but it does have to be under 60 seconds. What the hell is Jeffrey O'Brien talking about? I'm talking about the Win a Feast with the Fanatic contest from Kasai. And here's what you do. You go to 1580thefanatic.com. Right there at near the top, you'll see the information. You click on the link for the script. It gives you a script for a 60-second commercial. All you have to do is do your best shot at recording that commercial into your phone or computer or whatever. You can even make a video. That's fine because we can get the audio off that if we have to. But, read the spot. Do a great job. Be creative. Just try to have a cool voice. Try to do something funny. Just whatever you want to do. Make sure it's under 60 seconds. And then you email that to contest@1580thefanatic.com. The deadline for entries is Thursday at 6 p.m. Winner gets announced Friday right here on the Daily Blender. And of course, 30-day rule does apply. So if you've won a prize in the last 30 days, sorry, you can't win this one. But again, you don't just win Feast with the Fanatic, which is what? It's all of the hosts and producers, Radio Ron included from the Fanatic. and you sitting there at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse enjoying some of that teppanyaki fun. But also you get some Fanatic swag. And on top of all of it, for future use, $100 gift card from Kasai. So get yourself that script and do your best and read it and send it in there to the email contest@1580fanatic.com. See what you can do. But I've been very impressed so far. I'll tell you that much. I've been very impressed.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, I just I want to see a funny one. Haven't seen a funny one yet. I'd like to see a funny one.
Okay.
You know? I mean, like, don't burp at the spot. Or do. I don't know.
Maybe you can get it done.
If you can do it. My kids were amazed when I told them I could burp the alphabet and proved it. They're like, wow, oh my God. I might be able to burp that spot, but it'll take me a little time. You have to pause.
It'll be longer than 60 seconds. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I would have to edit it. I could take a drink of some sort of carbonation, and normally I burp the alphabet without carbonation. But if you're going to sit there and do words, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. But I almost wonder, Randy, do they have some sort of filter where it makes it sound like everything you say is a burp?
I could work on that, maybe.
I like to see if there's a burp
Maybe.
filter. I might want to burp a spot one of these days. That'd be fun.
Very well.
Lightning Bolt says Bill Russell was 21-0 in do or die playoff games, by the way.
Yeah. Win or go home games. He was 21-0. And think
10,
about that for a
10-0 in just game sevens, which almost no one can say.
Where's the Bill Russell documentary? So you got The Last Dance, The Man on the Field, the dude down your shorts, whatever they've got for all these other guys.
Hello.
Why don't we have a Bill Russell documentary?
Didn't know I had a dude down my shorts.
I don't know, just the stupid names that they give these things. Why isn't that? I mean, I would imagine there's got to be something out there on Bill Russell, right? But I just haven't seen it pop up on my radar. Anything on Netflix, Amazon, something, ESPN.
One of the most dominating, if not the most dominating basketball player of all time, and there's not a documentary on him.
I would have to imagine that somebody has done this, and it just has gotten by me. It would be like Espen to blow it and not even have a 30 for 30 on him.
I haven't seen one. I know NBA TV's had like an hour-long special on him in the past. That was pretty.
They have
pretty
football
good.
lives on NFL Network on players. You're like, did we really need this one? And they don't have something for Bill Russell.
Yeah, they had one on NBA TV. I think it was Bill Russell, My Life, My Way, or something like that. That it was pretty good, but it wasn't the full treatment that a lot of these other.
I want the full damn
documentaries are
treatment.
getting.
I
Yeah.
want the Last Dance treatment for Bill Russell, and they should have done that bleep when he was alive. I'm a little bit angry now.
You know what they say? Give people their flowers while they're still here, because if you do it now, another generation will be exposed to the greatness of Bill Russell, but he won't get to appreciate it.
You know what was great is the John Madden thing. He got to see it before he died, like right before he died. And they filmed him watching it, and he was touched, and he was like, you could tell it meant a lot to him to hear all these people and all these voices say what they had to say. It's a shame they didn't do that for Bill Russell. That's a shame. 888-368-1580. So I don't want to get to the obvious yet. Can we just pretend like we don't have to get to the obvious for a few more minutes?
Do we need to talk about that today?
Oh, we do. We do.
Do we absolutely need to?
Well,
we do.
It's a thing that happened, and it's a sport thing that happened.
Well, because I'm also pretty disgusted and a little bit angry about it.
I have a feeling you're not the only person on this program that's disgusted and angry about it.
And I figured that the super fans of the Fourth Dimension here, also feeling the same way, are going to have some things to say, except for that one kid who was trying to argue with me the other day. About the whole Deshaun Watson thing. And you realize you're having an argument with somebody who hasn't read the whole thing. You know what I mean? Who hasn't really doesn't have all the facts at their disposal.
Look, that's constantly every teacher when I was in high school. That was just like, so you didn't actually read the book, did you? Did you watch the movie? How did you come to understand only half of this information?
Yeah, he sounded like me day one. Well, let's wait till the evidence is in. Hold on now. Could be a thing. And it was awfully suspicious that lawyer who lived down the street from the team owner suddenly was going after that guy after he didn't want to play for them. Blah, 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 blah. That was day one where you're looking around going, what the hell's happening here? But as we learn more, and if you had paid attention, you will see, holy crap. But okay, I want to talk about the Diamondbacks for a second, Randy. So trade deadline, looming. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
gave up David Peralta.
Yeah.
To the Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays, yes. And they got in return, they got a rookie league catcher.
So when I saw that, all I could think is, that's it? Shouldn't the Diamondbacks be getting more for this catcher?
Well, it's like anything else, Jeffrey. The price is what you can get for whatever resource you're trying to sell, correct? So if I sell, let's say I sell my pair of glasses. Well, if I can get $5 for my pair of glasses, I'm going to take that. But most people would only pay, $1 for my glasses because they might need a pair of glasses and they only have $1. And so I won't get $5. So David Peralta on the, which by the way, let me preface it by saying an aging player who was on the backside of his career and who was up for free agency next season. And there was no really indicators that he was going to return. He may have gone off anyway. So keep that in mind. David Peralta is being sent to Tampa Bay, who is a quote unquote contender for him and probably will end up in the playoffs in one way or another. And we get back a young prospect. We get back a young rookie league catcher.
On your dance card, was catcher a big need for the Diamondbacks?
Well, to that, I'd like to say this. Bryce Harper, when he was brought into the league, he was drafted as a catcher. Where does Bryce Harper play today? So just because this kid is a catcher right now does not mean he's going to end up being a catcher. We might move him to the outfield. Hell, the kid could end up being a pitcher. If he's a quality catcher, you always want to get a good quality catcher. And I'm not saying that because I'm a former catcher myself, but it's a very important position on the team. It's sort of almost like a quarterback on the team because you've got to know your pitching staff. You've got to know all the plays. You're directing the fielders. You're calling defensive plays a lot of times. And you're the one that can see the field when nobody else can see that perspective. And so everybody will look to you and you can point to where the ball is if they've lost it in lights. Very important to have quality catchers on your team. Also, not to mention the fact they're going to have to be able to handle your pitching staff. They're going to have to be able to work with your pitching staff. And in these days and times, sometimes pitchers are very picky about what kind of a catcher they have behind the plate. Gone are the days you have a guy that's out there every day, every game, because you have so many different pitchers with so many different likes. I like the way this guy calls a game. I like the way this guy frames the ball because it helps me get more strikes, so on and so forth.
But here's the thing. I feel like the Diamondbacks should have got something more.
Again,
something. It just seems like very awkward. And of course, all of the sports sites, all the media looking at this like, wow, the Rays are magicians. They've done it again. Look at that. They went and got amazing value. And then people looking at the Diamondbacks like, are you stupid?
The Rays have David Peralta to the end of this season. We have a kid who's a prospect and we have him locked up. And the kid is going to be, he could very well become a great Major League Baseball player. You don't know until you start developing this kid and see what you got. Plus, the kid's 19. David Peralta's 33.
Well,
which way would you rather
as
go?
Christian Serta gets any good, we're just going to trade him away anyway.
So that's fair. David Peralta, by the way, 34 years old, 352 days, which means in about 14
35.
days, he'll be 35. Yeah.
And listen, I love David Peralta. And I saw the chatter on the Twitterverse and Big George. I listen, Big George, I understand, but the Diamondbacks aren't going anywhere. Why hang on to David Peralta and not get anything back for him? I mean, we're always complaining if we give guys away and we don't get anything, or if we go and get somebody, it's never enough. I mean, when is Arizona going to be happy or at least be content with the move? We got somebody back. He's a prospect. Let's see how it works out.
Well, you don't need hitters. I mean, that's obvious. The Diamondbacks, their hitting is just fine.
Kid's 19 and he's hitting in the rookie, what they call the complex league. He's hitting pretty damn well and he's got power.
Is he coming straight over or is he going down?
He won't come to the Diamondbacks. He'll go into our system and we'll bring him up from there.
Fantastic. All right, going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little more baseball. And of course, you know what we're getting towards. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
NFL training camps in full swing. Buffalo, the favorite to win the Super Bowl, plus 650. Tampa Bay, plus 750. Houston with the longest odds, plus 30,000. The Major League Baseball trade deadline quickly approaching. It's set for tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern. Washington National star Juan Soto remains the top prize. There's also speculation the Angels could be looking to move Shohei Ohtani. The two-way star, a plus 325 bet to win the American League MVP this year. Yankees slugger Aaron Judge, the favorite at minus 400. Cardinal star Paul Goldschmidt remains the National League MVP favorite at minus 155. Dodgers star Freddie Freeman and Atlanta's Austin Riley, both plus 800. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Chuck Sanders on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. Well, in Major League Baseball's World Series, only one World Series has ever ended with a runner being thrown out. That runner is a huge name. Name him. The answer coming up on the Daily Sports Quiz.
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz: name the only player to ever get thrown out stealing a base to end the World Series. The legendary Babe Ruth, who in 1926, with his team down one run, attempted to steal second base and was thrown out. I'm Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
It's a game of intimidation, a game of power, a game of strength, speed, and violence.
Plus, they have these little guys called kickers.
We are your gridiron connection to the NFL. With the live games you want and the pigskin news, scores, and talk you need. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for the NFL.
It's David Glender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and yes, we are going to talk a little more baseball before we get into the ugliness that is 888-368-1580. Also, we're already getting texts for the ugliness, but this will be fun. So just want to give a tip of the baseball cap to Reed Detmers of the Los Angeles Angels. He has recorded an immaculate inning against the Texas Rangers.
No kidding.
He has had, explain to the ladies and gentlemen, Randy, what an immaculate inning is and why it's a big deal.
three guys up, and you strike all three of them out in 9 pitches. Three
Bam,
straight,
bam, 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 bam,
three
bam.
straight, three straight, three straight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, they seems like we're getting more of them lately. It's the 10th one since 2020. And of course, there's been 60 of them since the year 2000. But earlier on in baseball, that like never happened. Like really, there were none between 1929 and 1952. So still cool, though. It is cool.
Yeah.
Didn't do them any good. Cool. They lost the game.
Well, yeah, that's been the Angels' woes this year. I mean, there was so much hope and promise going into this season. You had Shohei Ohtani. You had Mike Trout, who was finally healthy. They brought over Thor from the New York Mets. Noah Syndergaard. You really thought, wow, this team is going to make some noise in the American League West, and just hasn't been there a year. But this Reed Detmers, is this the same kid that had the he had the no-hitter, and then he got thrown down to the minor leagues because he wasn't performing? And you mean to tell me he came up and threw an immaculate inning? Huh?
There he is.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Hopefully he sticks this time.
Well, if he had been an Arizona Diamondback, he would already be gone. It would already have happened. 888-368-1580. SOL says, amongst all of his accomplishments, Bill Russell, there's one that is sad and really unmentioned. Uh-oh. But it was an amazing achievement.
Okay.
Bill Russell also starred in an episode of Miami Vice.
Why is that sad?
I don't remember. Well, it was sad. It was sad that it wasn't mentioned. That's what he said. It was a huge accomplishment.
Of all of his accolades, in an episode of Miami Vice wasn't mentioned.
And I am sure, as he sat there contemplating his life towards the end, he was like, "They never mention it. They never mention Miami Vice." Big Risk sent over a screenshot, and I guess that the news had actually broke back in February that NBA legend Bill Russell will have a Netflix documentary. They're working on it already. They've just started working. It was dated February 17th. So, well, at least we have that to look forward to. So, all right, let's see here. And then this happened over the weekend, and I might want to actually have this painted and put on, I don't know, somewhere where my neighbors can see it, but like maybe in the garage. So when the door comes up, you see this. David Ross giving the double bird the other day.
Yeah.
I just love, look at the look on his face. It's just like, and what that is he says, well, it's kind of my hello to a friend of mine on the other side, for the other dugout, and just got caught on camera. He says, I definitely should know better. I don't want any kids out there giving the birds to anybody. It's not the way I want to represent this organization or myself or my family. I'm sorry I got caught on TV. But guess what? That will be the picture that they will use for the rest of his life.
I hope it's on his Wikipedia page already.
It should be.
Man, Ross, he's a good dude. And I saw that on Twitter, and the caption was every 8th grader as they walk by their friend's class, and they had that picture. So I can totally relate to that.
Some people give him a hard time saying, "Oh, you're like a frat boy." It's just a guy thing. It wasn't hurting nobody. He's just being funny. He sees his buddy. He's like, "Hey," like Randy and I might do that to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do. Hey, it's not frat boy behavior. It's just, but probably not becoming of the manager of a baseball team on national television.
That's the time and place thing. I have no problem with them giving the double birds to a friend, but on TV, okay, it's going to be a bad look.
He didn't know he was on TV. He knew there's a chance he might be on TV.
Complete accident. I think 9 times out of 10, I don't even think that gets picked up, but he got caught that time. And
there's a funny story I remember of Bill Russell, and it was the last few years. I think it may have been in an All-Star game or something, where they had a picture of Bill Russell, and as he was leaning back, he was kind of, or maybe it was an award show, but he was kind of giving the bird to somebody.
I know what you're talking about.
He had this big grin on his face when he was doing it, and he really didn't go all, like, but he was kind of like, and I thought, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
he didn't even realize it was on TV.
And if he gives you a single finger, that's like a triple bird, because that hand was huge.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was Charles Barkley who was talking at an award show, and He had a little bit of a joke at the expense of Bill, and Bill gave him a friendly bird.
So you realize that when the FCC, if it were on broadcast, they would have gone, "Oh, it's about Charles Barkley." No, we'll allow it. Fed fan says, so did Bill Russell wear the white linen suit and aquamarine suit like the whole shirt thing like Don Johnson? I don't know. We got to look that up. Got to look Bill Russell on Miami Vice. I bet you could find the YouTube of it. I don't know if he was a good guy or a bad guy or just himself. I actually do want to watch that. Boomer Sooner says, good day, guys. Randy, can I get an 805, please? Wait, what? Why is Boomer Sooner ordering an 805? Yeah, it's a Mars Bars thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or somebody else's. I can't remember.
No, it's definitely Mars Bars.
Kind of
Mars Bars usually gets the 805. Boomer Sooner, I guess, wants an 805.
Give the man an 805. Let him try it. I don't know.
There you go.
Fifth letter says, you forgot Rendon as well, Randy. All this talent and no one can stay healthy.
Yeah, and Rendon is hurt again this year. But he was in the middle of that fracas that they had between the Mariners and the Angels. As a matter of fact, he went out there with his good hand and was pawing at the guy that was charging the dugout. So,
I thought you were going to say more.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, Lightning Bolt says, comma. I don't know why. He just texted this a comma. But okay. I just got a message. I got to get my teeth cleaned tomorrow morning, 11 a.m.
All right. Very good.
I should. It's the deep clean, but I should be able to talk on radio by 3 p.m., right?
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to eat a big old box of Oreos right before I go in.
Excellent.
Make them earn that damn money.
Excellent.
A la Stephen Wright. Let's see. Wing Guru says 805 is a lager made by Firestone Brewing. 805 being the area code of Santa Barbara. I know. But Boomer Sooner is from Oklahoma, and he has no business drinking that. He has no business. How dare you?
He's causing a fracas. Second use of fracas on the show today, by the way.
Boogie, I guess, is a big Miami Vice fan. He wants you to know Bill Russell, Miami Vice, is season 2, episode 18.
Season 2, episode 18. All right.
Yeah.
Episode is called The Fix.
What's that?
The episode is called The Fix.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy? Can you read the synopsis for us?
Let's see here.
Don't they have a TV guide description there?
We've got it's a very long description. What on earth? Yeah, I don't know. I just have the wiki pulled up here of the episode.
Remember the guy Tubbs?
It has its own wiki?
Tubbs and who? Who was the
Crockett?
Crockett, Tubbs and this week. Tubbs and Crockett take on a crime bigger than they can handle.
So when that show was out, I was like 11, 12, something like that. And even at that age, I'm sitting there. I'm like, kind of a dumbass has an alligator on his boat. Why would you have? That's gotta stink. Like fish and lizard or whatever alligators smell like. When are you gonna feed that thing? And then you lock it up in the boat when you're gone fighting crime. You got alligator crap all over the inside of your boat. There's just so much wrong with the whole Crockett having an alligator in his boat thing. That's I hated it. I hated him.
It was a domesticated alligator, and it was boat broken.
It was not broke. No, is all he did. That's it. He just hissed at people. Horrible tilt to that show that he has a damn alligator in his boat.
I think it's pretty badass.
I like Tubbs. Tubbs was just badass. He was just cool and quiet, like whatever. And he did. You could tell he barely tolerated Crockett's nonsense. He shook his head like, okay, man.
And there was a lot of nonsense. Also, I think Bill Russell was a good guy. He played a judge.
Boogie just sent me a screenshot of Bill Russell on there, and he's got this little like 6-shooter pointing up like he's about to start some stuff. I think we should all watch that tonight and talk about it tomorrow. Kyle G says Russell might be the most accomplished athlete ever. He should be the face for basketball the way Babe Ruth was for baseball. I say that because as a younger fan, it's rare to hear him talked about in any depth. And I'll tell you what, that is a tragedy. You are correct. So once that Netflix documentary comes out, we will absolutely talk it up and let you guys know about that. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, I think the crocodile in his boat is his guard dog. Yeah, but still. Yeah. A guard dog will tear up the couch and crap all over the place. You're gonna leave it can't be better to have an alligator. The cleaning ladies are like, nope, I'm out. Forget it. Nope. Reaper says, hi, guys. Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks, Reaper. Hope you did too. Wing Guru says, yes, Boomer Sooner. Probably should be swinging some moonshine, right? That's kind of what I thought. He's from Oklahoma, Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Monday. I'm worn out after this weekend with the Diamondbacks. They traded away the face of the franchise, David Peralta, for like nothing. They got swept by the Braves. My hopes and dreams for this season are now dashed. Conspiracy theory, maybe Mars Bars is Boomer Sooner.
Big George.
I don't think that can be.
Not really feeling that one, George.
I don't think that could be.
Your hopes weren't dashed when they walked into Atlanta and then got smashed the entire weekend.
That was the worst part. Yeah.
The problem is the Diamondbacks could have taken yesterday's game. They could have taken yesterday's game. And what did Torey Lovullo do? Again, Torey Lovullo pulled a pitcher who was dominating against the Braves, one of the best offensive teams in all of baseball, just absolutely dominating them, and pulls them out in the 8th to bring Eon Kennedy in, and then go to that closer. Give me a break. Leave the kid in and let him finish.
Oh, crap. I think somebody at my dentist office listens to the show and heard me say that about the Oreos. Now they want me in at 10 a.m. They're like, now it's going to take 2 hours. Oh, boy. I got to be careful. Listen, let's take a break. We got more text to catch up on. And yes, we will get to the ugliness that is Deshaun Watson and situation. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Kelly here with AC by J. It's hot and everyone expects me to talk about AC, but you know about our award-winning AC service. Did you know we do plumbing too? Whether you have a slow draining sink, stopped up toilet, a leaky faucet, or want soft water, you can trust the professionals at AC by J. We have plumbing down. Looking for upgrades? Tankless water heater or whole home systems? Drains, mainline or slab leaks? We have you covered. Call AC by J at 602-609-7664 or go to acbyj.com. Service you can trust from our family to yours.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your home for NASCAR. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Now we have more information in the scandal, the corruption. Yes, it turns out Bill Russell played a corrupt judge whose son was a basketball player, and that is the reason why we don't hear much about Bill Russell, because when he was on Miami Vice, he played a bad guy.
Oh boy.
He had that bad guy look to him when he was holding up that pistol and that little screen grab that Boogie gave me. So that is what has marred Bill Russell's entire legacy. It was that appearance on Miami Vice in the 80s. Somebody made a huge mistake in putting him on that show. That's all I'm going to say about that. 888-368-1580. Let's see here. Trying to sort through. FedFam says, did you guys see that Jay Crowder is looking for a change? Are you sure it doesn't mean he's just looking for a change? Maybe he just needs to do some laundry or something. I don't know what you mean. What change is he looking for? Is he saying he wants to trade? Is he on a long-term deal? I would imagine he is. I most a couple of years, right? I don't know the situation. You have to tell us. I did not see that, so let us know. And of course, Keon is looking it up while Randy tries to restart his internet as Cecil the dog lays on that sofa doing absolutely nothing to help. It's just a little bit disturbing. So, okay, without further ado, I guess we do have to talk about this. Hopefully, not for too long, but long enough to let you guys have your say about this. As you know, Deshaun Watson did get his suspension. A whopping 6 games. A whopping 6 games he was suspended. Now, for the disciplinary officer, Sue L. Robinson, to do this, she saw all the evidence, whatever evidence existed, and no more evidence will be provided. So even if somebody appeals something, there will be no more evidence. So even if you appeal, you have to be able to win on the evidence that was already presented. So it's not likely it's going to go the one way. It's only going to go the other. And I'll get to that in a second. So,
and she looked at 5 cases, if I'm not mistaken. Not all of them.
Well, she had all the evidence,
right?
But she looked at 5 cases. Anyway, so I've got a crude printout of her conclusion, the actual conclusion here in front of me. And it's here's the thing that I'm just going to read this to you. So if you're cloudy on what was said or decided, this comes right from her. Mr. Watson is hereby suspended for 6 regular season games without pay. Although this is the most significant punishment ever imposed on an NFL player for allegations of non-violent sexual contact. See, I already have a problem here. Non-violent, it's sexual. This conduct, it goes along the lines of a sexual assault. Just to say it's not violent I think it's incorrect. It's incorrect. The things that he did to these ladies it should be considered as sexually violent, because these ladies were very intimidated by this person because of his clout, because of who he was, and it was a bad situation for them. And of course, he's just doing what he wants. You don't call that violence?
Yeah, the threat of violence is implied. That's the reason why they go along with it. They're not having fun. They're not enjoying it.
The violence doesn't have to be a punch in the mouth. The violence is also what harm could come to them and their career. And possibly that he might get violent.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have no way of knowing that. So you just kind of roll along with it. It kind of reminds me of when Jameis Winston got into his sexual assault deal with an Uber driver. People clearly understood then that she's stuck in a car with an NFL player. Here's this smaller person. She's going. Yes. She can't leave.
Same thing. Stuck in a room with Deshaun Watson.
Exactly.
Yes, both could leave. She could get out of the car and remove herself from the situation. The masseuse could remove themselves, but that's their place of business. They shouldn't have to remove themselves. They, you know what I'm saying? There is an escape, but it's not as cut and dry and easy as that. The next line is Mr. Watson's pattern of conduct is more egregious than any before reviewed by the NFL. I don't agree that that's true. I don't think it's more egregious because I have 3 pages of people who have done things and what suspensions they did or did not get that would disagree with what she's saying. It is egregious. It's amazingly egregious. And so they said, of course, she goes on about the CBA and she lays down the directive that This guy is not supposed to get a massage from anybody than club directed sessions, blah, blah, blah. And is to have no adverse involvement with law enforcement, must not commit any additional violations of the policy, stuff like that. Still 6? And you're absolutely right, Kyle G. Hopkins needs to appeal his suspension like right away. It is ridiculous that he suspended the same number of games for taking stuff to heal faster, or he'd even say it was a trace amount. And didn't mean to or didn't take any, whether you believe him or not, whatever. It's a trace amount. Abuse and mistreatment of women hurts the NFL far more than drugs ever could. And that's what I said on the Twitter when I saw this. 6 games. Don't ever tell me you care about women again, Roger Goodell. Now, I know you're going to say it wasn't Roger Goodell, that this was an independent judge. That's a load of garbage too. You know that.
And also,
this is not an independent person.
We'll see if the league appeals, because what happens if
their appeal would be to make it less. They wouldn't need to appeal to make it more. They can just step in and make it more. They're hiding behind this, so they don't have to, and that keeps the Haslams from getting butthurt.
Well, from what I understand, the league would have till Thursday to appeal, and if they appeal, then it just goes to Roger Goodell to decide. So the tell of whether or not the league actually gives a damn is if they appeal, because if they appeal, then Roger Goodell gets to make the call, and he can add more games if he'd like. My guess is he's not going to.
No, I don't think so. I would be shocked if they did. So there it is. That's I'm really just disappointed and sickened by this. And let me get my whole sheet here. DeAndre Hopkins, 6 games, and he had a $5.2 million fine. Deshaun Watson got 0 fine. That $345,000 they talk about is just how much he's going to lose in wages, unpaid from those games. And you almost wonder if these dirtbag Browns, in constructing his contract, knew, well, we're going to pay you diddly squat, like $1 million first year, give you all this guaranteed money up front just to be our pal. We then will only pay you $1 million this year, because they knew if it's going to be 6 or even the full season, they would only cost them $1 million out of the 240 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's dirtbaggery on the Browns for them to act like, we didn't know. It's 30 plus accusations of sexual impropriety, 6 games. Calvin Ridley got 17 for gambling,
and he never bet against the team or anything like that. I'm not justifying it. I understand why Calvin Ridley got suspended, but Calvin Ridley's suspension makes no sense compared to this. We're talking about 24 women accusing Deshaun Watson in court, and there's more than 24. 24 is not all the women who have accused him. Those are the 24 that said that they were going to try and get some kind of financial compensation for it. The number's closer to 60.
It's disgusting. And I almost wonder if this disciplinary officer was like, well, Ben Rapesberger only got 6 games for raping a couple of women, so I guess that's what we're going to go with.
Sure, you could. She's a judge, so leaning on precedence is a thing.
Well, in this situation, she's disciplinary officer. She did not act as an actual judge in this capacity, although she is a judge in her regular life.
I'm just saying, like, maybe she's got that mindset where precedence matters. But this is unprecedented, is the thing. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen anything like what Deshaun Watson's gotten into here. And I think that this was an opportunity for the league to send a very strong message about what they think about women and violence against women. They could have put their foot down. They could have made an example out of Deshaun Watson, and they did not.
Well, they made an example out of Michael Kendricks back in 2018 for insider trading. 8 games. The insider trading. So insider trading is worse than what Deshaun Watson did to these ladies. Let's see what else we have here. And then can I tell you who I'm mad at? I'm really mad at the state of Texas. I'm really mad at any grand jury that can look at all this information that has come forth and not bring charges. Even if you say, well, some of those ladies were up to no good. Okay, carve off a third of those ladies is up to no good. I saw some video with the original accuser and some other ladies. I saw the HBO thing. I've seen other interviews, and I'm like, there's a lot of credibility here, and there are questions that popped up in my mind before that, and they answered those, and I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. So why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? So I'm just really, before anything else, I can't believe that they decide, because as I look down the list of all of these suspensions, and I got 3 pages of them here, it would say alleged sexual assault, no charges. Assault battery, charges dropped. Assault incident, no charges. Assault, no charges. No charges. It's not just Texas, but why do football players get away with this so damn much?
Well,
I know that there's going to be an occasional, that lady was lying, or that lady was this. Larry Fitzgerald went through that, and I do believe, and it's not, and listen, I am not a Cardinals fan, but I believe that was Crazy Woman's situation at that point, not actual like, oh, he went in there to assault somebody kind of thing. That was just a thing. There are cases that probably in this mix where the man isn't to blame. Okay, but as I go through here, no charges, no charges, no charges, charges reduced, charges drop, charges reduced.
When it comes to football players and justice in the state of Texas, after the whole Adrian Peterson fiasco, after he beat his child and left marks that honestly
balls off him,
made me vomit. Like I almost threw up watching it. Like I saw some of those pictures. It's disgusting. When Adrian Peterson got away with that, that confirmed for me. I don't think anyone is going to get caught with get any kind of punishment in Texas short of actually holding a smoking gun. I don't see how. Football is God in that state, and football players get away with everything there. And it's not good. It's not helpful. But that kind of kickstarted this whole situation. But because that there were no charges brought to Deshaun Watson, his camp was able to use that as a reason to maybe suggest innocence, even though that doesn't appear to be the case.
Let me also bring up something weird here. The Aldon Smith in 2014, weapons charges, other incidents, 9 games. Tank Johnson from the Bears in 2007, weapons charges, 8 games. Chris Henry, wide receiver for the Bengals in 2007, weapons charges, other incidences. So basically what I'm seeing here is weapons violations. The NFL is going to come down heavier, but go ahead and rape a woman. That's fine. That's fine. 6 games. Yeah. But it's worse. Oh, don't you get caught with a pistol. Don't you be starting stuff with any rifle. That is amazing to me. That is amazing to me. Swazman says, Jeffrey, your liberal side's coming out. How so? Because I'm disgusted that Deshaun. So is it a conservative thing to be raping women is okay? Is that what you're trying to say? Should conservatives, because I count myself more conservative than and in fact, later you're going to hear just how much of the conservative side of Jeffrey comes out when I talk about something. That of course, at that point, somebody's going to jump up and call me a fascist neocon, but whatever. It has nothing to do with being liberal. This is about the fact that just these guys keep getting away with this over and over and over again. But focus just on the Deshaun Watson thing. 6 games. The judge has evidence that shows legitimacy of at least one of the claims, and it should only matter if one. If he did this to one woman, forget 60, one woman, and the person who's in charge of this, a judge who is acting as disciplinary officer, looks at it and says, oh yeah, this guy needs to be suspended, then it needed to be for more than 6.
This was always my thing with the Deshaun Watson suspension. They needed to suspend him for a season or more, or no games at all. That's it. There's no middle. He's either innocent or he's guilty. But if you the 6 games is the middle of the road thing all over again.
Well, I don't have a time to give you my take on this.
That's okay because
of my stupid internet.
That's all right, Randy.
Provider.
We got a ton of people on the text line. I'm going to give them their voice, and when we come back, I'll let you have your say. Unfortunately, we're not going to be done with this right this moment, and I know that's what you're pushing for just now. to be done with it.
Randy's like, give me 30 seconds. I can end this right here.
Because it's ugly and it's horrible.
Well, it is ugly. It is horrible. But I'm hearing you guys, and I'm angry alongside you. And but I want to tell you what my thoughts are.
Yes, we'll absolutely do that, and we'll let all the rest of you guys at 888-368-1580 have your say on this as well. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
For the latest in the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are your kids enrolled in school? Their future depends on what they're learning right now. Find an Arizona school near you at azed.gov. Make sure your kids get the academic support they need. Plus, give them community care whenever it's crucial, with meal programs, counseling, and more. Find an Arizona school near you at azed.gov or call 602-542-7378. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K256 Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pals, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose there in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Fish Tank says, since we're trying to avoid Washington Dotson or whatever, the Atlanta Braves just signed Austin Riley to a 10-year deal. I'm super stoked.
Wow.
Well, we were avoiding it, but now we have to talk about it. So
congrats.
Yeah. Sorry. 888-368-1580. So unless you haven't heard, I'm sure you have heard, but if you haven't, Deshaun Watson got a measly 6-game suspension based on evidence that he did something wrong. That's the thing we got to keep making sure you understand. Even though the grand jury didn't bring any charges, which I think the fix is in there, the judge, who is a disciplinary officer, Sue L. Robinson, looked at the information in front of her that was presented to her and said, yes, this dude did something wrong. Here is the suspension. So keep remembering that part. Even if this was about one woman who said he did some stuff, it should be more than 6 games. This is just absolutely bizarre to me. So, Randy, before we went to the break, you had some things you wanted to say.
Well, I mean, I'm appalled at the way this has come down. I am appalled that this guy's only getting 6 games. I'm appalled on so many levels because if you know, as this is unfolded today, I've heard about his contract structure where he's going to be fined. He's going to miss $300,000. That's it. Out of his $253 million contract, he's only going to be out $300,000. That's the sum of the totals. His base salary this year for this season is $1 million, and then everything kicks in next year. Cleveland Brown knew exactly what they were doing. They knew he was going to pay the price, and they were trying to make it pleasing for Mr. Watson to be able to get a huge contract and not have to pay as little as possible. But as I read through this today, the thing that was it was very concerning to me, and I hear you guys talking about, you know, guys in the past have done this, and the state of Texas didn't convict, and you know, and I agree with you guys, both you guys, 100%. But in her own words, and listen carefully to what she says, although I found Mr. Watson to have violated the policy, I've done so using the NFL's post hoc definitions of the prohibited conduct or conduct at issue. In other words, because there has been a series of these sort of similar crimes in the past, and because the NFL has been the chief prosecutor and executioner, if you will, of these crimes in handing out disciplines, Sue L. Robinson could not take Deshaun Watson's, as abhorrent as this behavior was, could not have taken Deshaun Watson's case and ruled any different than the NFL has already done. And that right there has got to be the smoking gun. The NFL has brought this. If you read,
who says she couldn't have?
Well, she said it herself.
You know what I'm saying, though?
In the official document.
Right. But I'm getting to why I'm saying that. Who hired her? Who gave her the rules that she had to follow for this? Well, where did that all come from? The collective bargaining agreement?
The NFL and the NFLPA both agreed to give her the power and to give her, ad nauseum to relegate, to judge over this sort of situation.
The fix was already in.
She is saying that she could not rule a year suspension because the NFL in the past has not done so.
And that's a great point. I really have to go back to my old Washington Commandos and the investigation that was supposed to be run by an independent investigator in that situation. And then what happens to all of the documents? Well, it's gone. We just don't have it. There was an oral report given to the league. That is the kind of stuff that happens when the league investigates itself, or they hire a third party. That third party somehow stops acting like a third party the moment that they show up. I don't understand.
That's exactly what you have here. This is sad.
I will say this, and it's not saving face as far as I'm concerned, but at the end of the document, she did instruct the league to make sure that Mr. Watson does not go out for any more private massages, rather use massage therapists that have been provided for, and not to have any run-ins with the law, because I think she's laying the groundwork. Like, if you do this again, pal, I have no recourse but to suspend your ass for a year.
So, but I get where you're that. Okay, slap on the wrist for the little kid.
Exactly.
Don't you do this again? And in the meantime, we've got at least, I don't. Again, if you take a third off, they were just trying to get paid. At least 20 women whose lives were damaged by this, and I would imagine a handful of them that I guess I think strongly about this, because I'm the kind of person who thinks if you rape a woman, you touch a child, and there is if there's totally conclusive, absolute proof you did it, you should be put to death. because you've taken that life that person had and you've taken it away from them. Their life will never be the same again. If you touch a child, you rape a woman, I think you should be put to death. So just be glad I'm not a judge or a guy who's writing these laws, because that's where I come out on this. So I see, but his sexual assault, 6 games? All right. Okay.
The other thing that infuriates me about this is the 4-letter network had a reporter out there following Deshaun Watson last week. And this reporter, and I'm not going to say the name of this reporter. I'm not going to reveal the gender of this reporter. But this reporter puts on their timeline pictures of kids and families coming up to get Deshaun Watson's autograph.
Who is bringing their kids?
And then they were trying to make the case that Cleveland has accepted this and it's all good with the.
Well, yeah,
that was an absolute abortion of the journalistic endeavor.
Well, you're a bad parent if you're taking a kid to see Deshaun Watson, who might become a role model for your child. Holy God, you should have your kids taken away from you.
I mean, my God, read the room. We're not talking about a football player who got caught gambling or, was out drinking the night before and got a little tipsy. Talking about a man who has taken things from women by force.
Yeah, I just don't understand that at all. Because, like, to me, I know if I were a kid and we were going to a practice or whatever, my dad could not have possibly done that. My dad is somebody who had a tremendous amount of respect for women, who taught me there are certain things you don't say about women. There are certain jokes that he thought you don't make them. You don't make them. And you for damn sure don't put your hands on a woman. You are garbage if you do that. And quite frankly, despite the fact that I am very mad, because people think the flash anger, they've seen it before. They have not seen it. They've not seen it. I am furious right now. But despite that, I'm actually not surprised.
No.
This is the same NFL. Greg Hardy got suspended 10 games. And there were photos of what he did to his girlfriend at the time.
Oh, my God. And it was just 10 games. He should have been banned from football.
It was reduced. Randy, the suspension got reduced to 4.
Well, I realize that. But that was, again, another reason why Deshaun Watson is only going to face 6 games. That's why there.
It shows that the NFL does not care about women. And the they're upset if you have a gun, but they don't care about women. Well, they're upset if you take some HGH, but they don't care about women.
Yeah, I don't even think that's the case.
And the NFLPA,
they want this to go away, by the way.
The NFLPA is not getting off the hook either, because their scummy press release that they put out the moment that the 6 games were out there, that, we're not going to appeal this at all. Yeah, of course you're not going to appeal this at all, because this is your guy and you don't want him to have a precedent set where other people wind up getting in trouble. But guess what? Deshaun Watson doesn't deserve to play another down in the NFL.
No, he doesn't. You're absolutely right. Let's see what the peoples have to say. 888-368-1580. Mr. Pringle says, so Deshaun Watson is suspended for 6 games. The real punishment he has is to have to play the last 11 for the Browns. Is it wrong for me to hope he gets hurt? I've never said that out loud before.
But
I'm sort of rooting for it.
Let me put it this way.
I don't hope anybody gets, but I see what you're saying.
After Greg Hardy got run out of the NFL, he ran over to the UFC, and I watched a bunch of Greg Hardy fights, and I rooted against him every single time. And I'm glad his career is going poorly over there.
I hope he got his
thrilled.
Ass
yeah.
Big George says this Deshaun Watson discipline. Now, remember, Big George is a former prosecutor and a lawyer. 6 games, that's it. Meanwhile, Calvin Ridley out for a whole season for a victimless and nonviolent crime. DeAndre Hopkins out the same number of games for a PED suspension. Deshaun Watson should have at least gotten suspended for the season. Anything less is a mockery of justice and a slap in the face to all the women who are fans of the NFL.
And Big George is 100% correct, because she said the reason why the suspension 6 games is nonviolence. Well, I'm sorry. PED use, is that not nonviolent? How does that wind up getting you half a season? Gambling, is that not nonviolent? How does that get you an entire season?
Josh Gordon says against the spread, got suspended for a freaking year for smoking chronic, but other players can beat their kids, sexually abuse women, beat women up, throw them in on a bed of guns, and get just a 6-game suspension. The NFL's hypocrisy has no boundaries. Well, if you look down the list, you're absolutely right. And because they've never had a set, like, sort of idea of how they would punish certain things, it was always discretionary. Now they're using this mouthpiece, Sue L. Robinson, who, and if she is a good person, she is restricted in her capacity to consider the precedents of past NFL rulings. And that is just the dumbest, worst thing you can possibly do because they've been horrible at it historically. Fish Tank says Keon's take was spot on. The whole season or don't do anything. Are we suspending him because we suspect he may have done something wrong? If you think he did, it needs to be a season. If you don't think he did, fine, but don't suspend him then. Well, 6 games is a joke either way.
Absolutely. And this whole thing is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. This is crazy. You find the guy guilty of violating the policy for the league, and you only give him 6 games. It's ludicrous to me.
Ukalamak says, have you been to Texas, Radio Pal? Yes, I have. I did quite a bit of stand-up in Texas, and I'm not surprised, to be honest, the way things work there. And I was part of my act back in the day. And he says, don't give me that football crap. They shoot black people there. Well, there is an inequity there because you're not black in Texas if you play football. No. Now you're working for someone else, someone important, someone big, like, say, Jerry Jones or the guy who owns the Texans. You know, the rich white guys who own these teams. So Texas is like, well, we got to take care of this fellow over here. So we better take care of this guy right here.
Listen, racism in Texas is the most ridiculous contradiction that exists. I lived in Texas, so you don't have to tell me, okay, when I've heard the most racist people turn around and go to a Texas Longhorn game and root for the players on the field.
Yep.
It's a bizarre state. It's a bizarre state.
They're rooting for the employees of a rich white guy.
Yeah, this is not. It's not just cut and dry like that. There's if you play football, they see you as different somehow.
Tiger Paws says, where I work, he would have probably been reported to law enforcement, even for something minor like that. After there was an investigation real quick, he also would have lost his membership for every Massage Envy throughout the whole United States. Permanent ban right there. I would imagine they've already got a picture of him up at Massage Envy.
You see this man,
yeah,
not let him in.
Hefty Lefty says Tom Brady was suspended for deflated footballs.
4 games. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is suspended for sexual assault allegation for 6 games.
Apparently, sexual assault is worth only 2 more games than deflating a football.
Big Risk says the Browns were actually ingenious at writing up the contract the way they did. Find a loophole to give him the most money by only giving him $1 million this year. That's what a good lawyer does. Finds the best way to take care of their client.
Yeah, genius in the same way that a supervillain is genius. Yeah.
Let me just tell you, Jimmy and Dee Haslam are garbage. Jimmy and Dee Haslam, who own the Browns, it used to be the lovable idiots. They can't run a team and they have all these bad quarterbacks and you tussle their hair. Now they're just garbage people and it's a garbage team. And I wish all bad things for it. Here's our little release today. Follow the bouncing ball on this complete disaster. Throughout the process, Deshaun and his representation have abided by the newly created and agreed upon process for the NFLPA and the NFL to defer to the objective judge, Sue L. Robinson, to comprehensively review all information and make a fair decision, which was impossible because if she was a good person, her hands were so tied, she couldn't do the right thing. If she's a bad person, well, then she just walked the line along with what they wanted, didn't she? We respect Judge. They keep saying Judge, by the way. That is incorrect in this moment because that is disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson. She's not a judge in this proceeding. We respect Judge Robinson's decision and at the same time empathize and understand that there have been many individuals triggered throughout the process. What the bleep does that mean? So when you say someone's triggered, somebody's just like upset. It's like, oh, they got triggered. You know, a lot of times that's like that's an insult. That is an insult to every single woman out there. That there have been many individuals triggered by him putting his penis on your thigh, arm, or whatnot, and on your Triggered is
Yeah,
the
like-
word we're going with here?
Unfortunately, the word triggered has been used as a joke so much it's lost its meaning, because it used to just be about, hey, what sets off somebody for having a PTSD
5
episode.
years ago, this was not even the right word.
But yeah, that's completely wrong. There's no other way to say it. We are talking about a guy who was told by one of the women who was massaging him at the time, hey, wear a towel. And he came out with a cloth that was like 9 by 9 and barely covered his junk with it. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we actually talking about?
Well, with that description, that he has a small penis. Here's what else the Haslam said. We know Deshaun is remorseful that this situation has caused so much heartbreak to too many, and he will continue to do the work needed to show who he is on the field and off the field, and we will continue to support him.
But mostly on the field, making us tons and tons of money.
Now, this judge that they have quoted in her decision noted that he has shown a lack of expressed remorse. He has shown no remorse through the entire process. What the hell are these people talking about?
He hasn't shown remorse. I remember the ill-fated Adam Schefter tweet when he wasn't pressed with charges after the grand jury, where Adam Schefter has said, well, Deshaun Watson has maintained his innocence throughout this entire process. And well, first off, it was wrong for Schefter to write that. But secondly, if he's maintained his innocence, then he's not sorry.
17 months, 66 different massage therapists, over 30 finally came around and made complaints. So far, all of the people who have civilly complained have been settled with, except for one. Now you say to yourself, well, they wouldn't have settled. No, okay. There's no hope for any sort of criminal proceeding because that is gone now. They have decided, 2 different grand juries, we're not touching this because, well, he's a football player for a rich white man. So they're not touching it. And if this judge sees there is evidence to suspend him, then that grand jury should have seen that there was evidence to charge him. And that's the other thing that I'm more mad about, the fact that that there was this much evidence to suspend him, then there was evidence to charge him. At least go through the process. And that has been repeated over and over again for like the last 20 plus or probably more years that we don't even hear the stories, do we? Because a lot of times in these little towns here, word doesn't get out. We have the internet now. Everything gets out. So who knows how long the NFL has done this dirty? You know what I'm saying?
And we talk about, Dan Snyder and why he's still an owner in this league. It's because of dirt like this. It's because of people like the Haslam.
Give him the team back. Give Dan Snyder his bleeping team back if this is how it's going to be. Because stop pretending you care. Stop pretending you care about racism. Stop pretending you care about women. Stop pretending you care about violence. Stop pretending you give a bleep about anything other than the ratings and the money that comes with it. Go play your stupid games. Stop it. Stop pretending you give a bleep. You're so close to having to hit that dump button, by the way.
Hand is hovering. Hovering as we speak.
I hope you've checked on it.
Oh, it's been checked and double checked.
We're up to 7 seconds, right?
We are well up to 7 seconds.
All right. Listen, still many people with many things to say. We will get to that. We come back. Hopefully we can wrap this up in just one more segment and move on to happier things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And if you haven't heard, the show is now noon to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. NFL training camps are underway. We'll get you the latest from the Cardinals and around the league. Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming quickly. What do the Diamondbacks do? And we'll keep an eye on their games. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 99.3 and 1580 The Fanatic.
For the latest in the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great. And I stopped working weekends. Thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program offer to those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this extended special financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season, you'd better think again. The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more. Football is always in season here. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Your home for football.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And all right, it's time for you guys to have your say about this Deshaun Watson 6-game suspension that came down from the NFL today. Here we go.
And away we go.
Well, let's see here. Big Risk says, before you say that 6 games isn't long enough, remember they used a judge that was totally impartial to decide. No, they did not. That was somebody who is a hired gun, an employee who had no hope of being impartial. But anyways,
but we'll see. We'll see by Thursday if the league is really serious.
Well, it's not even the judge. You got to think about it. It's Roger Goodell maybe stepping up and saying, we're going to do the right thing. I do not expect that, but I'd be very happy. It would change the way I see Roger Goodell, of course. But then again, could just be a PR thing. I don't know.
It could, but even if it's just a PR thing, that is,
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's not a win really, but it's something.
Big Risk says both sides agreed to let her make the decision. She did, so let it go. I'm sure the NFL wants it out of the news. I don't see them appealing the suspension, and I look forward to watching him play for the Browns.
Well, then I can't let it go.
Big Risk. Are you really?
If the NFL can appeal it and doesn't, you can't.
Browns fan? Are you a Browns fan, Big Risk? Because those are the people who want to wash this away. And the people who want him in their fantasy football team, or the people who just want to wash this away. Like the kid who was like, "Well, the grand jury didn't charge him. The fix is in." Well, the NFL, the fix is friggin' in. You know better. I know better. Everybody knows better on this. Everybody knows better.
Look,
and to say that the women, well, they got their settlements. No, this was a part of a civil thing because there was no longer a chance of a criminal thing. So of course they're going to settle and like, well, may as well take some of that money with us as we go because we're not getting justice.
Yeah, look, as a fan of a crappy fan base, and I mean this in the moral sense.
As a fan of a crappy fan base.
It sucks to be a fan and be caught in the middle of this stuff when your owner and your team and all of that stuff.
But
they're making
you're the worst kind of fan if you sit there and you look at a guy who sexually assaulted a woman and said, well, I really look forward to playing.
Exactly.
You have completely convinced yourself that it's okay because he plays football gooder.
You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, no, I'm not rooting for that. You can still root for your team, but you do not have to look forward to watching Deshaun Watson play football. Again, read the room, my friend. Read the room.
Watermelon says, Jeffrey, can we all agree? We can all agree what Watson did is horrible, and the NFL's like a discipline there is equally horrible. I do have to question the fourth dimension. If you're a Cleveland fan, what are your thoughts about the Browns in this decision, and how does it affect you as a fan of the team? Well, if Big Risk is a Browns fan, I think we just heard there's always going to be these, a level of fans who they don't care about anything other than we want to win, we want to win, we want to win. Life is bigger than that.
Yeah, and I get it when your team's been as bad as that team's been as bad, because my team's been bad for just as long. I get it. I truly understand. But you got to have a line where somebody does something awful enough, you can at least feel bad about that.
Last Optimist says the Watson contract, that's why I will root against the Browns until I die. Ray Rice was suspended indefinitely for one assault against a woman. Watson sexually assaults 24 women. Going to put allegedly on that for you, Last Optimist, because the bulk of the evidence may not spread across that. But the judge says they're credible. And the judge says they are credible accusations, but somehow what Ray Rice did was worse. Completely with you guys on this one.
And by the way, the league tried to let Ray Rice skate too. They only because we got the video is the only reason they even suspended him at all.
They came back around to it. Swazman says, my point is the NFL is no innocent Nancy. They have to take some culpability, but they won't. They won't. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, I feel I have to share something with Blender Nation. This Deshaun Watson thing is making me more sick every day. My daughter, okay, I don't know if we want to air this one out, Boomer Sooner. Really, I'm going to give you a minute to think about this one. I be sure you want me to read that one, but yes, it's sickening what Deshaun Watson is said to have done. Kyle G says the things you can get away with if you're rich or can throw a ball. An O-lineman or a kicker would have been gone for the season, maybe even end of career. Goodell continues to fail as a commissioner because he's too much of a coward to upset any of the owners. Thus, Dan Snyder still owns the team.
Yeah, there's a certain point, Roger, where you've got so much money. Why not just do the right thing and go out in a blaze of glory? Like, if they take you out, they take you out, but do the right thing like once. Once.
Jagdog says, hey, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Kyler got COVID. Poor little fella. Let's hope he gets better soon. Go Niners, he says.
Yeah.
Mr. Pringle. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these memes of Robert Kraft. I don't think this is a real quote, but it says the independent arbitrator coming back with only a 6-game suspension for Deshaun Watson is frankly an embarrassment for the entire league. Robert Kraft did not say that. If he did, it would be amazing. Hefty Lefty says the Browns should be forced to play Josh Rosen for all 6 games that Watson is out.
Please.
Thunder Snow says the NFL is a brotherhood. Couldn't Deshaun Watson have gotten a few tips from Bob Kraft about where to get more legal/illegal massages? People who wouldn't call that sexual assault, they'd call it a tippable menu item. Whistling Gerbil says it should have been 0 games or indefinite. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying.
It's
Whistling Gerbil.
the only way to look consistent in all of this, and they look incredibly inconsistent.
Probably not the right conversation to say Whistling Gerbil.
Probably not,
because now we all get
we are going to learn how some of these texter nicknames just in the context of what we're talking about.
We're so used to some of them. If I go down the list of the people in this conversation, there's a lot of it that's weird. Thunder Snow, Hefty Lefty, Mr. Pringle, Jagdog, Kyle G. These are kind of normal ones. Yeah, no, they're all kind of normal. I thought maybe we'd get a weird one in there.
Thank God the moist one's not here. That would be.
I wonder whatever happened to Moist One.
It's been a while.
Ooh.
Kiss the Cook says, I don't think their decision was based on so-called evidence, but more the fact that his actions put him in a compromising position that was severely questionable and poorly reflected or jeopardized personal conduct of the NFL. No, Kiss the Cook, they actually did have some preponderance of evidence before them, or else he'd have gotten no games.
And Sue Robinson herself, if you want to believe her and you want to believe that she's made the right decision, then you can't say that the evidence is so-called evidence. It's evidence, and it clearly affected something because he's being suspended for 6 games.
Choro says, What was the suspension with Vic beat and killed them dogs? Well, I happen to have that right here in my and I showed during the break all those suspensions that should have been less than what mostly less than what Deshaun Watson did. Let's see. He said Michael Vick, that would be here we go. So for felony dogfighting, he did time though, didn't he?
He did.
do
He
some
went to
time?
Yes, he
jail.
did. 14 months, I believe.
Well, it was indefinite, but he was reinstated in 2009 after a 2-game suspension. So part of the indefinite was sort of helped by the fact he was in prison.
Yeah.
So
So the league didn't really have to make much of a decision on that because they're like, yeah, you actually missed a couple years.
yeah, but anyway, Fed fan says, I feel nothing. I am dead inside. Just kidding. Why would you tag them?
What?
Let's see. We'll get to the Jay Crowder thing a little bit later. Fish Tank said, whoever said let them make the decision and let it go, obviously did not watch the OJ case.
Yeah. So sometimes these things can be wrong. Sometimes the process can be incredibly biased in many directions. And, if you're an athlete, it usually is biased in favor of you, generally.
So if I'm the massage therapist on the Brown staff, I'm putting in my 1-day resignation right now.
There's a quarterback in Cincinnati that's not going to have issues with you.
I'm out. I'll be leaving. Male, female. Nope. I'm good. Thank you. I'll be seeing you. All right. So I guess we should probably be done with this now. It's pretty well voiced that we're all sort of sick about this. And you know what? We get one every year, don't we? Not to this severity, but there's a Kareem Hunt. There's a Tyreek Hill. There's a Ray Rice. There's a Deshaun Watson. It seems like every year there's a guy. And I don't talk about it too much. I think I've maybe mentioned it a couple times, but when I play fantasy football, I can't bring myself to use these players. I can't bring myself to use the players who have assaulted women. I can't do anything about the fact that they exist. And I don't know if as a commissioner, if there was a button I could click where nope, I would do that. But I personally, I don't care if I lose. Somebody else can have the rapist. Somebody else can have the child beater. Somebody else can have the domestic abuser. Somebody else can have that guy. I don't want them. I don't want them at all. And it's one of these things where today I'm watching the news, I'm hearing about stuff, and I'm even hearing some people on one of the sports networks say we have to separate the art from the artist. Meaning, after the dust settles, we still have to report on Deshaun Watson, the player. We still have to pontificate about the way he plays and how he plays, and how the Browns do as a team. Doesn't that make you sick? I'm so glad this is an entertainment show. We are not the kind of show where we'd have to do that. I'm so glad we don't live in Cleveland for so many more reasons than even this. But still. That right there, separate the art from the artist.
It's just,
did you ever not hear me say Ben Rapesberger? If I did, it was on accident because he's always been Rapesberger because he did that thing. I'm having a harder time watching the NFL and letting these things go. Somebody tell me how I can reconcile that in my soul.
I don't know, because some of the stuff is just egregious. So you say there's a guy every year, and yeah, sure, not to this extent, but there are some years where the guy we get is like the worst guy, and this is one of them. And I don't know how you reconcile that.
What does it take? What does it take, NFL? What does it take?
What it would take would be for it to somehow affect their bottom line.
Yep.
That's what it would take. They don't care, and they will not change, and they will continue to do what's best for, number one, the shield, and number two, most importantly, the bottom line.
Somebody tell me how to keep loving football when this is what's going on. The people who are running stuff, tell me how. Do we just start becoming Canadian football fans or something? Because I'm having a hard time reconciling. I have for years had a hard time with all the weirdnesses, the way they treat black coaches, the way that they dole out punishment for these sorts of transgressions. So many different things. You're sitting there going, how much more do we take?
And I think you brought it up earlier, but I think it makes it worse. If the NFL just said, you know what, scumbags play here, this is what this is, you could almost compartmentalize it a little bit better. But instead, they're two-faced. And on one side, they pander to women, they pander to
breast cancer awareness month. Black Lives Matter in the end zone and on the helmets.
And then on the other side of their mouth, they do stuff like this, where clearly their actions are not backing up what their words are saying. And that makes it harder to watch, because I want to believe, when they say they're doing X, Y, and Z to help women, that's a priority for them. And then when they suspend Deshaun Watson for only 6 games after all of the things that we've heard about and know about, that's clearly not the priority.
Choro, what the hell are you trying to say? He says, LOL, white dude crying about the NFL. A, not crying. I'm outraged. B, what does my being white dude have to do with it? Have a conversation with my friend Keon, because he's similarly as outraged as I am. Hell is your point. Are you insinuating? I'll punch you in the mouth. Fed fan says, time to join the tennis train, Jeffrey. I am this close to going back to music radio.
It's a dark day for my pal, Jeff Go. It is a dark day.
Whistling Gerbil says, could be worse. He could have gambled on games.
How do you argue with that?
Bob Shurirsky says, hey, Jeffrey, if you're tired of professional football, then come join us Bears fans. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Tiger Paw says, I also thought she was supposed to be one of the lead prosecutors in the New York in the sex crime division. She was bound, I suppose, by the rules that were in front of her, is all I'm saying. Big George says, the NFL better not have those purple ribbons on the field advocating they're against domestic violence this season. I am disgusted. Charo says, just saying, in the bigger picture, there's more injustice to worry about than your NFL. Yeah, but what does my being white and being outraged to have to do with anything, Charo? You think I'm not equally outraged about all the other things? You got to just be careful the kind of crap you say to me.
Yeah, and look, pointing out one injustice, which, by the way, this is not one injustice. This is one guy perpetrating multiple injustices in a league that allows these kind of injustices to roll on. There's more to life than that. But hey, that's a part of life too, when you've got this many people who got carte blanche to kind of do whatever, because guess what? They don't get punished.
Hefty Lefty says the NWSL could use some fans, Jeffrey. Now their crypto sponsor went bankrupt. They could use some ticket revenue. They play hard. What the hell is NWSL?
National Women's Soccer League.
Randy, you and I are going to have a conversation. We're going back to music radio. Screw this noise. I'm done. All right, let's take a break and we'll come back and not talk about this. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A Chicken Biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp Online Therapy. When Alana and I started BetterHelp in 2013, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime with the click of a button, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/wellbeing and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wellbeing for 10% off your first month.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Monday, August 1st. Remember, first of the month, pay your rent. Don't get caught. Make
Don't
sure
pay
you
late fees.
Yeah, don't pay the late fees.
Use those late fees to make your bets with FanDuel, right, Randy?
Exactly. And you, let's change the subject. Let's talk a little baseball. You can go yard all summer long with $5 Dinger Tuesdays. Yeah, I said Dinger Tuesdays on the FanDuel Sportsbook all season long. Customers get $5 for every home run hit by both teams when you place a $25 to hit home run wager on Tuesday MLB games. And the best part about Dinger Tuesdays, even if your bet loses, FanDuel will pay you $5 for every home run. Diamondbacks in Cleveland currently losing to the Guardians. Big George, if you heard that, just turn your radio off. Currently losing to the Guardians in Cleveland. That would be, if they lose today's game, that'd be 4 in a row.
Yep. But
however,
it's only 2-1. It's only 2-1.
It's 2-1. Currently losing.
Bottom of the second.
What?
It's only the bottom of the second. Could turn around.
2-1.
2-1.
Anyway, Christian Walker is playing in the game, and so either he strikes out or hits a home run. So maybe tomorrow, in the game tomorrow against the Cleveland Guardians, you go with Arizona Diamondbacks' own Christian Walker, if he's still on the team. The trade deadline is 3:00 tomorrow. But if he's still on the team on a Tuesday, on Dinger Tuesday, place that $25 to hit a home run wager on the FanDuel Sportsbook on Christian Walker. And if he hits a home run, bing, bang, boom, you're a winner. There's no better place to bet America's great pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Head over to the FanDuel Sportsbook and open your account and place your wager now. Or if you're new to FanDuel, sign up using my promo code Randy1580. That's promo code Randy1580. And man alive, do I need to repeat it here? That is more superior than anybody else's. So keep that in mind. A lab approved, 4 out of 5 dentists approve my FanDuel promo code to others. And that fifth guy, well, he's just drunk. He's high on the nitrous.
He's been huffing.
Remember, you got to be 21 or older. Present in Arizona. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credits that expire 7 days after you get them. Max bonus $25. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Well, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP and get some help, or text Next Step to 53342.
All right. Thanks, Randy. 888-368-1580. That is the text line. Fish Tank says, yeah, Radio Pal. Go to Music Radio and you can say things like, Here's another romantic track by Ike and Tina Turner.
Wow.
Yeah, damn you all to hell, Fish Tank. And I thought, well, I probably would have a little problem playing, Michael Jackson, because what I think he did. There's plenty of those things. Thank you for ruining that for me. Fish Tanks, Pringle says, if you feel so outraged, wouldn't the right thing to do to be quit buying and paying for anything NFL? Yeah, I'm almost there, man. I feel that. I do feel that. It's just, I'm a drop in the bucket. And, I have to, there are times that we're doing stuff on the show about fantasy football. And there's times that we're doing things and I'll, what happens? Sometimes I even forget because there's so many guys with bad pasts and histories. It's you guys on the text line even maybe to remind me. Oh yeah, that guy did that. It's like, son of a bitch. There's so much of it. It is. Yeah, I love the game. I love the NFL. I love the game. I love the play. Just the people behind it, some of the people in it's making it really hard for me to keep saying that I love it. It's starting to hurt. Fed Fan says, pay your rent. I'm mortgage free, baby. Good for you, Fed Fan.
Not a girl, Fed Fan. Not a girl.
We're not saying this for you. We're saying this for everybody else. And as weird as it seems, somebody always goes, oh, thank God. Oh, thank you. Hefty Lefty says, every time I hear about Dinger Tuesday, it makes me wonder how Big Al is doing. I hope the little guy leaned out and continued to hit dingers on his high school team.
Never know. We might see him in the MLB. You never know.
Who is he talking about?
Little Big Al was the kid that came up with I'm Big Al, and he was a Little League World Series participant.
Sorry.
And his TV introduction was I'm Big Al and I hit dingers.
Try to have a sound clip of that so that you can fire that off and remind me sometimes.
Okay.
Thanks, Hefty Lefty. Blissful Hay says, is Christian Walker an atheist?
Well, thank you, Fourth Dimension. Thank you.
All right. So let's see here. Let's have some more levity. Let's do a little man talk real fast. Man of the day today. I almost was thinking about this. Now, if you go to my Twitter page there at RadioPal1580, you'll see, if you scroll down, a video of Gordon Ramsay. He's that angry chef fella who has like
Screams
the
at
rooster
everybody.
haircut and screams at everybody.
Yeah.
Swears like a champ. His swearing game is just second to none.
General insult game.
Oh,
very
yeah.
hot. I remember one time he took 2 slices of bread and put it on the sides of this woman's head.
Yes.
And he said, "What are you?" And she said, "An idiot sandwich," and cried. And that is the meanest thing I think anyone's ever said to anyone on TV without swearing.
So now he's getting backlash for something completely different. I guess he posted a video on someplace of himself going into a pen of lambs and going, yummy, yum, yum. I'm going to eat you. Which one's going in the oven first? And I love that. I mean, why would people be mad about that? But somebody quote on the thing, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but that crossed the line. What line? What line did that cross?
What did you think was going to happen to the lambs in that pen?
What do you think?
Do you think they understood him and thought, "Oh no, that's really cruel for you to point that out to the lambs"? That actually their destiny this entire time was to be stew.
Oh no, I'm really scared. This is bad.
It was fine before, but then he said they're delicious, and then now that's the end of it, isn't it?
That's
Come on,
it.
man.
What do you want? What do people want? You want to pretend like we're not going to eat those things? Every hamburger you've ever eaten, And this guy, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian. Well, then you need to shut the bleep up.
Was it because it was a cute little lammy lamb? Is that what it was?
That's what it was. Yeah. But not like the ugly animals. And nobody complains about them, do they? Nobody worries about the ugly ones. They're just like, it's so cute. It's just, oh my gosh, it's just so terrible. It's like the seals. Nobody cares when a grown-up seal gets beat. But when you see the baby seal beat, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And grown-up seals are like, this is bullcrap. That's why we eat some of them little bastards.
Yeah,
that ain't fair.
I wonder if that guy was munching on some veal as he typed out that tweet.
I'm going to imagine he did.
Yeah.
Just so we can continue the hypocrisy. So Gordon Ramsay was almost man of the day, but then I saw this and it's way better. This guy here in Arizona by the name of Matt, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the last name right, Shehe or Shaha. He's 27-year-old guy. His mom back in 2020 was diagnosed. She had a benign brain tumor. Having a brain tumor is going to jack up a lot of things in your noggin. So it was still something serious that had to be dealt with. But because of the recurring radiation treatments to get that tumor under control, there goes all her hair. Well, he was always known for having long flowing locks of raspberry blonde hair, much like his mom. So he thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grow this out and we're going to make it into a wig for my mom. And that's what he did. He grew his hair out 12 inches, then he chopped it all off, went to short hair, and paid some company that does these things to make a very nice wig for his mother, Melanie. And he did it. He got it done. And
that's fantastic.
He's just felt bad for his mom, having to deal with that. And but she looks great now. I saw a picture of it. Looks great. So there's a company called Compassionate Creations, a small business in Newport Beach, California. They specialize in building custom wigs for this exact situation. And they helped out with that as well. So man of the day, Matt Shehe Shaha. I'm sorry about the last name, but what you did was absolutely awesome. So credit to you and your family, man of the day. And if anybody knows these guys and has the correct pronunciation, I could have said it was haha. Matt's haha. That's actually kind of cool. That is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Kiss the Cook says, okay, Clarice, what did you hear? Lambs. I heard the lambs.
And we've gone south.
There it is. That was Kiss the Cook.
Yeah.
Last Optimist says at 7, my daughter stole some bacon from my pan and was eating it while watching Charlotte's Web. I told her she was eating Wilbur and she replied, Wilbur is delicious.
Absolutely.
You raised that one right. Absolutely. Hefty Lefty says the ultimate mama's boy. Hats off to him. Tiger Paws says, okay, never mind. That's levitation. What? What? Did I say levitation? Levitation's when you float, right? Levity is when you go hardy har har. Fish Tank says, remember when all the talk was Watson's of the Dolphins? Yeah, thanks for jumping on that grenade, Browns. I had even said at the beginning when we thought, okay, it's one lady, could have been a misunderstanding, could be one woman, you start to try to give him, a plausible excuse, right? Well, it could be this, that, or the other. And I even said, I'd be happy to have Deshaun Watson on the Colts. But I followed with, as long as this stuff is cleared up and not true. Well, guess what? I don't ever want this sumbitch on the Colts. Tiger Paws, I'm sorry, says, you missed 2 texts before that one. Sorry, guys. I can't keep track of all of them. Oh, she says levity. You trying to raise Kyler up? She's like, no, I meant levitation. Bob Schwersky says, hey, if you got a gambling or a drinking problem, text in to 1-888-368-1580. We assume that all of you are drunk when you text because we read these texts. So here's a man card violation I meant to give last week. There's a 10-second TikTok. And now I don't have a TikTok account. I only see these on other people's websites or on their Twitters. But there's a 10-second TikTok of a security guard crying during a Kendrick Lamar Houston show. He's supposed to be working security, and he's standing there. He's crying during the song Love. And he was singing along to it. So I don't know the song, but he's like, Love. His name is Devin Sanford, and I guess somebody asked him about it, and he's like, it brought me back to when the song first came out. I was going through a tumultuous time in my life at that point. The words, the crowd around me, everyone screaming, reaching for Kendrick and crying. I just got absorbed into everybody's emotions. I was trying my best to hold it together, but I cracked. Okay. First off, if I own the security company and you're fired, You are fired. Nobody is going to respect you or take you seriously as a security guard if you stand there weeping during a song.
Oh, boy.
Of course, Kendrick Lamar liked it, but no, the guy's trying to protect your life. You know what I'm like? I can't see him through the tears. Are you kidding me? That is a huge man card violation, and I think a fireable offense at the security guard company. Am I alone on this?
I don't.
Oh, no, I'm with you.
I don't know that you're necessarily alone on that. Doesn't seem safe for him to not be able to see.
He starts swinging away at the wrong person because he can't see the tears, and he punches out an old lady or something. That can happen. All right, guys, that's it for this hour. We have one more hour to go, and yeah, we're talking NFL next.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp Online Therapy. When Alana and I started BetterHelp in 2013, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime with the click of a button, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/wellbeing and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wellbeing for 10% off your first month.
ABC Wednesday, the music event of summer, is back. With performances by Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, Kelsey Ballerini, Luke Combs, Kane Brown, plus epic collaborations, Carly Pierce with Winona Judd, and Darius Rucker with Zach Brown Band. Are we feeling good tonight or what? Elle King and Dierks Bentley host CMA Fest, Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream next day on Hulu.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K2.2 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose there in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I asked Randy a question real fast. Randy,
yeah,
what was cooler, the 1968 Charger or the 1970 Charger? I don't care about the 69 Charger because I don't like the way the front end looks on that one year. So if I had to choose between a 68 and a 70, which one do you think was cooler? I mean, they kind of look the same, but I don't know if maybe the 70 Charger had some upgrades or something like that.
68 Charger just had that badass profile. You know what I mean?
Look, yeah.
Yeah, it had and there's so many things you can do with it. I think I would probably go with the 68 Charger.
But didn't the 70 Charger have about the same look and profile?
I think it was a little. I think it was a little thinner.
Okay,
and it was a little more, a little skinnier. That front end didn't look like it was going to vacuum you up off the road.
Right.
Where the 69 or the 68, looks like it's just going to suck you up as it passes you by.
So here's a thing I've been romanticizing in my head. And I've actually done a little research. Did you know that there are people who are fabricating bodies, replica bodies of like a 68 Charger?
No kidding.
And I'm like, my God, I could just make a brand new one. No rust. Don't have to go spend ungodly money on something, you know, because these things, if they're good, they are going for like $150,000. If they're sort of okay, they're going for $50,000. And the sort of okay has some rust, has some this. And I'm like, how much would it cost for me just to make one? You know what I'm saying? That would be the ultimate of my manliness to
make your own body,
to build a badass muscle car in my own garage, which means I'd have to buy a chassis. I'd have to, the frame, and I'd have to get the engine, and that's where I'd start. I would just start there, get that all figured out, and then lower the car on top of it, the frame, and start to build the fenders. Because when they send you it, the front end, it's not put together, so it's easy to work with. And I'm saying all this, then I think, all right, $20,000 for the body, $10,000 for the chassis, however much for the engine, upholstery. When you try to build a car from scratch, that ends up being a very expensive car.
It's gonna eat you up, man.
I kind of want to do it. I have no idea how to convince the wife. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I just, I kind of wanna. Or the nice thing is, if I can find a destroyed one out there, now I know that there are people who are fabricating, putting these things together. I can fix one up and kind of make it new. I don't know. I don't want to go cheap on something like this, but I don't know. Part of me just really wants to do this before I'm too old to do it. You know what I mean? I don't have toys. I'm not one of those guys who, I don't own a boat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those guys that has a boat and the jet skis and this and that. I'm a pretty responsible human being, and I'm a family man, and I'm not out there running around at strip clubs. I'm not running around and I'm not drinking myself to death or drinking us into debt or anything like that. They just want this one thing. How do I talk her into this?
Well, I think
I'll need a lift.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a hydraulic lift in the garage.
I think you start by finding somebody who you can befriend that owns the lift. So I think that's number one for you.
Right. Okay.
And then I think you just you lay it out like you just did to me.
I want to live in my garage. I don't want to live in somebody else's.
I understand that, but
I want to wake up in the morning, walk out there, and turn the wrench and do some things and run a diagram and some wiring.
Happening is probably not going to work.
F that person in Illinois who won that $1 billion. I'm sure we all feel the same way. Yeah. We may not all feel the same way about the Deshaun Watson thing. We may not all feel the same way about many things, but we all feel the same way about F that person in Illinois.
Yeah, because I wouldn't build the car. I would buy one and have it done.
Yeah, but no. If you
had $1 billion, I know you would go out and find one.
No, I would build one. No, I'd build one.
Well, what I'm saying is you would go and find a car, and you would You would you strip it down and get all the parts and build it the way you want it.
No, I would build it from scratch, a brand new replica from scratch, not one bit of rust on it. It would have some modern touches. It would have a Hellcat engine at the very least.
Of course it would. Yeah.
And that would just be so much. So just I don't care that it costs more to do it that way, but that's just like, I built a car, man.
Yeah, I mean, how awesome would that be to just pull up somewhere and just be like, yeah, no,
we gotta have
built
dreams. We gotta have dreams, right?
Yeah.
I built a gate. That's all I can afford to do. I built a gate, and I show people pictures of it. Like, look what I did right there. Yeah, well, back in 1998, I built an RV gate too. See, I got a gate thing going on here.
I swapped out a light socket in my garage and put up one of those LED lights in my garage this weekend.
Nice. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's about all I could do. I could barely get off the ladder. Miss Kim had to help me.
Mr. Pringle says Johnny Cash built a car from scratch and it didn't cost him a dime. Well, I feel like it would. I don't get the joke. Help me out with that one. Doc Mike says appeal of a 68 Charger. One word, bullet. He's talking about Steve McQueen movie. You know, you're right. I didn't realize that was 68. And he says, by the way, everyone's drunk. You are correct, sir. And I'm on my way to work. That's not good, Doc Mike.
I didn't know that. Did he drive the Bull? I thought that was a Mustang Mach 1.
Maybe there was a 68 Charger in the movie as well.
Yeah.
Good question. FedFan says, before you start to build the dream car, find yourself a good divorce attorney on retainer.
That's not going to happen. I know Alex. She's very open-minded. She would probably consider it.
No, she loves cars too.
I know. That's what I mean. She would probably consider and try to work with you to come up with a way to make it happen.
It's a big task and it's a big ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't do it overnight. You just got a piece at a time. You get the chassis built first, and then you add suspension and then you add transmission and then you add engine.
Right. You take your time, enjoy the process. Right.
But
I think the argument is it's not a all in one expense. You're not just going to blow a bunch of money on a car right now. It's going to take
over time.
You can budget it.
But she's going to say, what about a retirement? I don't want to say this to her out loud, but I won't live to spend it. The women in her life.
She'll look real good in that car spending the rest of it.
The women in her family live well into close to Betty White age. Okay. The men in my family, all dead. And before my age, like I think I have the high score right now for father, grandfather going back. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just I'd like to enjoy some of it too. I don't want to leave her hanging, but the 68 Charger, man, I don't know what to do. Let's see. Thunder Snow says the bad guys in Bullet drove a 68 Dodge Charger 440. There you go. Mr. Pringle, you just sent me a thing. It's a song called One Piece at a Time. Well, I left Kentucky back in 49 and went to Detroit working on an assembly line. The first year they had me putting wheels in Cadillacs.
Oh, yeah.
Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by. Okay, do not play the song.
Yeah, I know. It's you say Johnny Cash isn't country. This is country.
Well,
country.
Not all of what he does I consider country. There probably was that twangy stuff he did, but I don't consider that. That doesn't exist to me in my mind. Blissful Hayes, will your new car, project car, be electric?
Let me talk to you about the advantages of electric, Jeffco. You should just forget about this Hellcat motor.
Can I say if I
put one
do?
of those electric batteries in there?
No, this would not be electric. I want to build the actual car. You know what I'm saying? But if I do want to have an electric charger, then we're talking fiberglass body. You know what I mean? You need more of a lightweight body for that. No, I listen, to do this and achieve this, I don't care if I have to make my own gasoline or if I have to fuel it with rubbing alcohol or something.
Make my own gasoline.
This is it's a passion project. You know what I mean? but I do want to drive it. Case the Cook says, I'd build a Rambler from scratch. A Rambler. You know, also I'm kind of digging is those old Jeep Wagoneers and Jeep Cherokee Chiefs. Not stuff from the 90s. I'm talking about like the 80s and 70s. Those things were beasts. I'd love one of those. Love to do that. Case the Cook says, no, not really. I'd rebuild a Mercury Kale Yarborough Special, which is my dream car. I'm gonna have to look that one up, Case the Cook. I don't think I'm familiar. Are you familiar with that car, Randy?
Yes, I am. It was a Mercury. I can't remember now. I have to look it up.
And for all you people, stop sending links to Johnny Cash's One Piece at a Time. We were not going to play it, and I'm not going to look at it later, Laptop Optimus. No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it, Doc Mike. Ain't doing it. Mr. Pink Eye says, would you build a flying car? No, if it was a flying car, I'd let the grown-ups make that one. I don't mind breaking down on the way to the corner, like pulling off the road. I don't want to crash and die in something that I made myself just to fly someplace. Sorry. Hefty Lefty says, for anyone wanting to hear the greatest speech a U.S. president has ever given, Independence Day is on TNT right now. Don't take people away from listening to the show. Hefty, that's not helping. My God, Independence Day you can see on streaming whenever you want. He says, no, it's not on right now. He says, judging by the scene they're at, the speech would start about 15 minutes after Blender's over. Okay, but still not helping. Bruno Baller says, what kind of car was that on Barnaby Jones? What did he drive around in? You guys are killing me. We're going to have to actually look up Barnaby Jones car. Just look up Barnaby Jones car, Keon. Hefty Lefty says, I feel like Jeffrey's life is turning into Tim Taylor from Home Improvement. Local, and he says hashtag celebrity from a local media station, has 3 kids, smoking hot wife, in his words, best friend with a goatee and an affinity for cooking, and a dream of building a muscle car from scratch that may or may not cause marital issues. Well, here's where you're wrong. I have 5 kids.
By the way, the Barnaby Jones car is a 75 Ford LTD.
Pass. It's got to be giant, right?
It's enormous.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah.
Boogie says, I never text when I drunk. Okay. But in his garage, he's got a 66 Mustang 289 V8, and he says it's a work in progress. So he's looks like he's renovating that car. All right. Well, I guess if you like to, if you're not embarrassed to be seen in the Ford, I guess that's cool. Big George says, I want the car Mr. Haney used to drive around in on Green Acres. That thing had a lot of gizmos and cool attachments. Your guys' dream cars. Listen, I ain't going to say nothing, but 68 Charger, man. Bob Shrushki says, hey, don't feel bad, Jeffrey. My wife has a big ass too.
Wow.
All right, I just wanted to ask you which one you thought was the better one from back then. Because
68.
Yeah.
68.
Then that's what it would be. I don't know. It's a shame that they didn't used to be this damn expensive. You know, these old cars, just over the last couple of years, they've gone crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, and you don't have a cocaine problem. Well, but the other similarity is there to you and Tim Taylor. Thank you, Hefty. Appreciate it. Bruno Baller says, do you have a fence in your backyard, Jeffrey, and a neighbor named Wilson? Well, it's Arizona, so I don't know any of my neighbors' names, and I'm happy about that. But I hear what you're saying. All right, so let's get to the sports stuff. I didn't mean that to go on for so long, but it is a nice palate cleanser from all the nastiness, isn't it?
Oh, yes. And we need that today. Mm-hmm.
So I guess Kyler Murray, as was mentioned earlier, has the COVID. Also, Pete Carroll has the COVID. That's suspicious. Why, on the same day that Kyler Murray has COVID, does Pete Carroll have COVID? What the hell's going on, you gum-chewing, quarterback stealing son of a bitch?
Aha.
Well, probably nothing. But so now, Kyler Murray's going to be gone for 5 days. Pete Carroll will be gone for 5 days. All the memes on Twitter were cracking me up. Everybody just showing Kyler Murray sitting in front of his, his video games, like, watching film for 5 days. Right. So, a lot of speculation comes up when in a Kyler Murray contract, you see like a contractual obligation, right?
Yes.
To watch film. That makes you think, well, if they feel like they have to put that in there, then there's an issue. There's a problem. Well, Lincoln Riley has stepped up and he says, I was really concerned when I had him at OU that he was going to actually burn himself out. I don't know why they put that clause in there, but having him for 3 years, I never worried. His work ethic was one thing I would never question.
Okay. I think we've talked about it before, and I'll say it again. The only reason that was put in was the December 2021 interview with the New York Times saying he's not going to break down a bunch of tape.
I don't think that's the only reason, Randy. I think that they, when he got into the pouty part of the season, he refused to participate because he was like, they're trying to embarrass me out here. Remember when he said that? He said that to another player. They're trying to embarrass me out here.
Didn't he say that to Colt McCoy?
I believe you are correct.
Yeah,
so
that's what I thought.
The fact that, that is his mindset, it could mean he gave up watching film because he's like, it doesn't matter. They're not putting around me what I need to make this happen. So who cares what happens?
Maybe I don't know. I was watching Kurt Warner talk about it a little bit too, and he was saying there's lots of different ways to watch film. He said that when he was in the league, he didn't spend too much time focusing on opponents' film because he was more of a post snap guy. So for him, knowing what a defense gave him, he knew where to go based on what their system was, what alerts they had. So he didn't spend too much time focusing on the other time. He watched film on himself, but he was still putting in the work in the film time. This just really seems like Lincoln Riley. That's your guy. When you're a college football coach, one of the biggest advantages you have in recruiting is guys you've sent to the league. And so making Kyler look good, he's got a benefit in that.
Right. And if he starts to say, if he were to ever even allude to the idea that that's just how Kyler always has been, he doesn't study the film, but he does fine on the field. But it's still, you're right. That makes him look bad. Lincoln Riley, the coach who was responsible for training him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point. So here's Kyler Murray over here, doesn't want to watch film. Now he's saying he does, whatever. Here's Jerry Jeudy. How about Jerry Jeudy? I like Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, he's a new, he's a receiver for the Broncos. He's got a new coach, but he wants to learn this offense. So not only is he watching film as a wide receiver, not only is he putting in the time and the work and the effort, you know what he's doing? He's sitting in the back during quarterback film. He sits in there with the quarterbacks and watch film, not because he wants to be a quarterback, because he wants to listen to them talk, learn their language and understand their thinking. So when he's running a route, sees something developing, he can put himself in the best position to be available to catch the best ball from that quarterback. He is putting in the work. Kyler Murray, that is work. Call of Duty, not work. NBA Jams, not work.
It's indicative of a guy, by the way, that comes out of that Nick Saban program. That they work and it's so competitive over there. There's no job that's given to you at Alabama if you're not putting in the time. And so Jerry Jeudy has learned that. He's internalized that. He is of all of the receivers in his age range, he's the best route runner out there. And part of that is just the amount of time he has spent focusing on his craft.
Yes, Thundersnow, Judge Judy is a receiver for the Broncos, and don't pee on her leg and tell her that it's raining.
That's right.
Speaking of which, I didn't know this person existed. He's been doing it for a whole lot of damn years, about 20 years. And I'm talking about the defensive coordinator of the Patriots, Dean Pease. Well, why haven't I heard this name before? It is spelled Pees. Pease.
I don't know, because he was
a
a defensive coordinator with the Titans with Vrabel in Vrabel's first year.
So I should have heard this name, and I'm sad that I haven't, because now I feel like I have to make up lost time. It's like, oh, here comes Old Man Pease. Is Old Man Pease in his pants, or is he in his shorts? Oh, I don't want to know if old man pees in his pants. Is old man pees in the pool? No, he got out a while ago. Certainly don't want peas in my face. I just missed out on so many years of that.
Yeah.
He's been in the league forever.
Coach
How did
Pease.
How did this
How'd
guy
you
get
know?
past me?
Yeah. Mhm.
Just, we're late for a break. I had like 12 more. I just got to
Yeah.
I try to work them in over the next few weeks just to catch up. A lot of.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm out of breath because of that. All right. We'll be back. We'll talk a little more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Dodgers still the favorite to win the World Series as of last week. They're at plus 350 with, again, the Yankees leading the way in the American League at plus 375. The Astros behind them at plus 500. Then the Mets and Braves each at plus 800. UFC 278 just under 3 weeks away in Salt Lake City. The welterweight title fight, the main event with Kamaru Usman minus 340 against Leon Edwards at plus 270. The NFL Hall of Fame game set for Thursday night in Canton as part of Hall of Fame Enshrinement Week. The Jaguars and Raiders will play in the first preseason game of the year. The Raiders are a 1.5-point favorite, 32.5 the set total. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the summer fun sale, July 29th through August 8th, and get 35% off paints and stains with prices starting at $27.29. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Jim Rome lives here.
It's a lame take to say that this is the dead time of sports and that there's nothing to talk about. It's not 1965. There's lots to talk about. In fact, I think it's actually one of the funnier times of the year because looking around and laughing at all the manufactured tripe that people are talking about, that's become a sport unto itself.
Jim Rome and the Jungle. Weekday, mid-mornings on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580. The Fanatic Broncos fan, Hefty Lefty says Jerry Jeudy already buying into the Danger Russ game plan. Smart move because that contract extension is going to come up before he knows it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just about a contract extension, man. It's just Denver's ready to win. They've been putting the pieces together, and I think they've got the best piece is Russell Wilson. Whatever his age, I think he's still one of the better quarterbacks out there. He just hadn't had much of a chance to shine since he got that first big contract. So, his own success was the reason for his lack of success, later on in Seattle, the money problem. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Broncos. Boogie says, does Kyler Murray count as Madden as film review? I think that's how he does film review. He just plays Madden. But that's just me. Boogie says, if you had to guess, how many hours will Kyler Murray spend playing video games versus watching film over the next 5 days? Huge disparity in the number, I would imagine.
I don't know.
would think so.
I don't know.
4 hours film watching, 180 hours watching playing video games.
I think he's going, depending on how he's feeling, and look if he's feeling decent, he probably has the iPad or his computer fired up and he's logged in and he's watching game film, and I'm sure
I'm not sure.
I'm sure that the team's in touch with him and they have a list of things they want him to go through and study, or but who knows? I mean, maybe he's just in level 81 of some video game out now.
Or if you want to take the optimistic approach to it, Kyler, after we've all ridiculed him and talked about it, and it's been a local story and it's been a national story and it's just gotten around, Kyler could just be like, I'm going to show all of you guys. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to start watching film and you're going to see. Maybe he could go that way too.
I've been drinking milk, and someday. Mr. Pringle says Kyler will have the COVID, but only for a short time. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says Diamondbacks pitcher Luke Weaver has been sent to the Royals for infielder Emmanuel Rivera.
How about that? Wow.
Also, Randy, your guy that you just mentioned in your FanDuel, Christian Walker, just went yard not that long ago.
Now there you go. See, but it's Monday. We're talking about Dinger Tuesday.
Correct. So hopefully he can carry it into tomorrow.
Dodger Danny says, hey, did you hear about my Dodgers getting Juan Soto?
I did not hear about that.
You just ruined Keon's day right there.
Yeah.
A quick Google search is actually happening right now.
Yeah,
to make sure that I didn't.
At least the Diamondbacks are tied with the Guardians right now.
I can't believe I haven't even looked at the deal yet, and I can't believe. I need a minute here, Jeffrey, because I can't believe that they would go as far to give up on a young pitcher like Luke Weaver. I can't believe that they would trade away pitching.
Have you met the Diamondbacks?
Well,
it's one of those things where you're not surprised, but you're disappointed,
shocked, but not surprised.
Okay, Luke Weaver's not having a great season. He's not having a great season. I will go with you there. He's not having a great season. He's got a 7+ ERA or something like that. But the way this team and the way they use pitching, I'm sorry. This kid is 28 years old. You finally got a pitching coach that came in here. You're going to get rid of Torey Lovello and Mike Hazen. Hopefully, dear God, please, sweet little baby Jesus, as soon as it's possible to fire Hazen and Lovello and get rid of these guys. Keep the damn pitching coach. That's the best coach you have on the team.
By the way, I think Danny might be trolling us. I don't see anything out there about
There's
Soto.
nothing out there about Juan Soto.
The Dodgers are the front runner. That's true, but they haven't actually made the move yet.
St. Louis is also in
there. Let's see. Joe the Show says, hey, fellas, hope all is good and you're having a good Monday. Yeah, it's a Hefty Lefty says, Kyler should just show up at practice in a bubble suit with a little AC unit attached, quarantine on site, and watch some practice. You know, Hefty, I think another idea would be closed circuit TV feed. That would be nice, probably. Although I got to be with you on this, an AC unit on a bubble suit, kind of one of my bucket list things. I want to do that. Dodger Danny says, sorry, guys. I'm just trying to speak it into existence.
Well, you're ruining my day by doing
it. Yeah. You're not winning a friend in Keon right now.
The last thing that I want to imagine, and I do mean the literal last thing, is Juan Soto in a Dodger uniform. I will vomit.
Big George says, Randy, if the Diamondbacks are going to trade away the face of the franchise, how can you be surprised that anybody is traded away by this inept leadership?
Well,
I am so frustrated.
I
Fire Lavello, fire Hazen, fire Derek Hall, fire Ken Kendrick, and sell his majority stake in the team to minority shareholders.
It was David Peralta the face of the franchise. Like, as an outsider,
Big George says he was the longest tenured player on the team.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily. I mean, guy's not an all-star. I mean,
Well, he's not an all-star. I would venture to say, I love Big George. He's my guy, but I'd venture to say David Peralta was a fan favorite. He was not the face of the franchise. Ketel Marte is the franchise face right now.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Because, again, as an outsider, when you think of certain teams or certain players that immediately come to mind, David Peralta wasn't the first name that popped up to me whenever I think Diamondbacks.
I just can't, as more as this jumps in on me, I can't believe you're trading a guy with a career 4.7 ERA away.
Kev, have they learned nothing from Robbie Ray? Nothing at all. Because that dude just won a Cy Young with the Blue Jays. And, he was here first. He
went to the Blue Jays, won a Cy Young, got paid, and he's doing crap this year.
And yeah, but, you got a great year out of the guy. And for most part, he's a better pitcher most years than not. He fluctuates, but for most years he's better. And I just think when you have a guy like Luke Weaver and he's young,
I just can't
develop him.
I'm sorry. Dear God,
Randy, we still have the Suns.
Well, I don't know, but because I don't want to, I don't want to go ahead of you, but I don't know. I mean, Jay Crowder, really? One of my favorite guy on the team.
Yeah, he's alternate swishing threes and bricking too many shots. He's
though
pretty good player. He was good in his role, but the Suns can replace him if that is the fact. Of course, him just tweeting out changes in the air, it doesn't necessarily mean what you think it does. Nobody's confirmed anything.
Mikhail, what's his name? Said Miami's got they're going to pick up Jay Crowder.
Okay, listen, that one's not the end of the world. I mean, we liked him when he was hot. We screamed at our TVs when he was not. Get him out of there, So
yeah, I know.
Fish Tank says Joe Mantiply, face of the franchise right now.
Joe Mantiply. How do you get rid of a young starting pitcher like Luke Weaver? And you got Mantiply on it. He's got the most value on the team. What the hell are you people doing?
Big George says, Randy is correct. Fan favorite. I'm a fan. Used to be a season ticket holder. Apparently, Diamondbacks don't want fans to show up at the ballpark and watch their games.
No, they really don't. They don't care because they get paid. They don't care. They're making billions of dollars every season, and they're crying poor. And they need to stop it and put a good team out there. Or somebody needs to intervene and hostile take. Jeffrey, that's it. We're pulling our money and we're doing a hostile takeover. Keon, you're in. We're in a hostile takeover of the damn Arizona Diamondbacks. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have a hostile takeover.
Man.
The Daily Blender is taking over the damn Arizona Diamondbacks. I've had enough.
All right.
Big George, are you in? I'm in. Are you in?
I'm all right. I'm in. I guess there's so much for my building a charger from scratch. Hey, does the Diamondbacks have those little bullpen carts, shaped like a baseball or something?
Yes. Shaped like a baseball helmet. Yeah.
Dibs. If we buy the team, dibs on that. Okay.
All right.
That's fair. That's fair.
Keon, are you in?
I am in.
All right. But you're a Washington Nationals fan, though. So you'll have to renounce your Washington Nationals fandom if we buy this team.
Yeah, I could do it though.
All right, Randy,
if I was part owner of the team, yeah.
Find out how many super fans we have. They can also chip in, and we'll make an offer to the Diamondbacks immediately. We're going to buy the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I'm calling Jerry Colangelo.
Of course, with the amount of money we'll have left over, it's going to be all minor league players.
It'll be a better product than what they have out there now.
You might be right. Joe the Show says, hey, keep quiet. Let the Diamondbacks suck. I pay $19 a ticket plus $6 fees. I get to walk around wherever I want, sit wherever I want. Yeah, but you watch garbage, Joe. You're watching garbage.
Some people just like being out at the ballpark, and it really doesn't matter what's happening.
Listen,
There's
I-
a
balance, though.
I would like a balance, yeah, but apparently Joe the Show doesn't care.
I am a great believer, and you just cannot beat a night at the old ballpark. I still believe that. I believe that my entire life. But listen, when you got that stinking pile of garbage out there, all they do is listen to the guys in the front office instead of playing baseball. Oh my God, it's time to take action.
Okay, how about this then? We buy the ballpark, not the team. And then we put our Zoom feed that we're doing right now on the big screen, and people can come down. They can run the bases. They can sit wherever they want. If it's just about the experience, they can buy expensive concessions. We'll do that. We could save money if we don't buy the team. I'm always thinking.
You are. You're the idea man. Visionary.
You
But
try
I
and
guess
think about that.
work your way into getting some input.
if the Diamondbacks come with it, then I guess we'll do what we got to do. Dodger Danny says, if the San Diego Padres can field a good team, so could the Diamondbacks. Could, won't, or can't. I don't know. Hefty Lefty says, by the way, that bubble suit for Kyler, that's for media exposure. But really, he should just have the live stream of practice with a radio to hear the calls. He needs to channel his inner Peyton Manning. That's what he really needs to do. I don't think Kyler Murray has an inner Peyton Manning. Joe the Show says, hey, some of the other teams are good, but what a steal to have a great night at the ballpark.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Doc Mike says, put a Charger front end on that bullpen cart. Goddamn right I will.
Yeah.
now I actually want to know what that would look like.
Probably really bad.
Yeah. It looked like a baseball helmet with a Charger front end.
And then it would just
a Hellcat motor in the back of it. And it would always be on its back wheels because of that Hellcat motor.
Oh, no. The golf cart, I'll mid-engine that son of a bitch. And then you'll just be sitting up high, flying off the back anytime somebody hits the gas. Many pitchers were injured. Blissful Hay says, garbage, like when the Colts played the Jaguars.
Oh, boy.
Okay, wow. I said this on Twitter. I'm going to say this right now. None of that hurts me. It wasn't the Colts. It was Carson. And Carson is somebody else's problem now.
Carson is my problem now. And do you know who they play week 1? The damn Jaguars. That's who they play week 1.
Uh-oh.
That's the first real test of my patience is about to really take hold at the beginning of football season.
Oh boy.
Good luck. Joe the Show says, oh, wise mages, can you remind me how the Diamondbacks put together a World Series team? They spent money and they haven't since, Joe. That's how.
Yeah.
Big George says, I'm in. Let's start the hostile takeover of the Diamondbacks. Hefty Lefty says, Kyler could probably use Peyton's forehead as a screen to project his video games on. Could. He could, but I don't think Peyton's going to sit for that. All right, we have to take a break. We come back. We have on this day in Big George's sports history and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. For years, I've been telling you about refinancing, new home loans, all the great stuff that the Lund Mortgage Team can help you with from start to finish. Now, things have gotten a little crazy, right? The rates were bouncing all over the place. Now they're officially higher than they've been in a long time. And now more than ever, I think it's important to have a mortgage professional that has been there, done that. Any Yahoo can sell you a mortgage when it's 2.75%. Those people are going away. The real professionals are the ones that are staying in business and helping their clients through this kind of tough time out there as far as mortgage rates are concerned. Those people are the Lund Mortgage Team. Matt Oliver, Lisa Lund, they've owned this team for a long time, over 2 decades in the Valley. They are the best in the business, and they will walk you through the process, whether it's refinancing now or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. or online, lundmortgage.com.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Never
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the summer fun sale, July 29th through August 8th, and get 35% off paints and stains with prices starting at $27.29. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So we are orchestrating a group of people to get together and make an offer or possibly even hostily take over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hefty Lefty says, with Jeffrey being part of the ownership group of the stadium, does that mean the mascot will change from Baxter to the kangaroo? Yes. Schrock, the kangaroo that Boogie and I share custody of, will immediately brought into service free of charge to be the mascot. Now, granted, there's a good chance that kangaroo, being a live and mostly still wild animal, is going to probably F some people up, then claws and probably kick a few drunks down some stairs. Don't bring your kids. Don't bring your kids around Schrock. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Don't get a picture with Schrock. But yeah, we'll absolutely bring him. Hefty says, these new Astro uniforms that say Space City makes me think they're now employing NASA satellites to steal signs. When will this corruption end?
Could be. Problem with that is they're playing in a dome, so yeah,
you think that satellites can't see through domes, Randy? You're such a child.
Well, sorry.
Prison Wallet says, and once again, Prison Wallet has the text of the day. We're not doing that anymore. That's not happening anymore with Prison Wallet.
This is the text of the day. All right, let's hear what he's got.
And once again, Prison Wallet has text of the day.
That was supposed to be text.
That was all he did. That's all he texted.
No, I'm sorry.
We're not doing that. But if you
not text of the day,
go to 1580thefanatic.com and download the script for the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse and record the commercial into your phone just with your voice and email it in. The best take on the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse commercial is going to win something huge. Listen, you could win a full dinner for yourself and a +1 and dine with the entire Fanatic crew. Every host and producer, including Radio Ron, of your favorite shows here. You get to come do the teppanyaki thing with us and the Fanatic and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who knows what kind of craziness comes out of that. The other thing is you get a $100 gift card for Kasai to use another time. So, basically you're getting 2 dinners out of this, plus some sweet Fanatic swag as well. You got to turn in your version of the commercial by end of show Thursday. And of course, 1580thefanatic.com has the email address, has the script. So if you're in your car, just remember 1580thefanatic.com. And the email address is contest@1580thefanatic.com. So you can do it just by reading it into your phone, or you can do a full production thing in your home studio, whatever you feel like doing. Just be creative with it, have fun with it, show us your spirit. And, you can clown on me if you want to. You can do a serious version, whatever you think is the best way to enter the contest. We leave that to you. So 1580fanatic.com and win a feast with the Fanatic from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. So there you go. And sorry, Prison Wallet. That'll never be text of the day. Hefty Lefty says Schrock can hold all the extra balls for the umpires. Yeah, in his little pouch right there. Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Bad idea.
Male kangaroos, do they have pouches too? I think they do, because sometimes they have to babysit. I'm not completely sure.
Keon feverishly looking it up right now on the Google.
He also says, let's see Angel Hernandez mess up calls when he has to ask Schrock for more balls. Yeah, Schrock will jack him up big time.
Angel Hernandez, you stink,
Yeah.
and I don't like you.
And
Which will be translated to claws and feet of fury.
Yeah, it turns out male kangaroos do not have pouches.
We'll have to put like a little apron on them with a pouch. Fed fan says, rigged. It's all rigged. Nothing's rigged. What are you talking about? How's it rigged? Record a commercial and send it in, Fed fan. Who's it rigged for? How is this rigged? I am confused. I'm legitimately confused. Or you just mishearing Skull say that.
You know, maybe, Jeffrey, you should give some tips, some production tips for the listeners, the Fourth Dimension to, to be ahead of the game here. Production tips from Jeffrey O'Brien.
Don't suck.
That is a good one.
It's not much of a tip.
That's a really great tip. Make sure you voice it in under 60 seconds. That makes it easier on us to make sure, because our commercials have to be on time. You can't be over 60 or else some editing has to happen, and you don't want that. So make sure it's under 60. Number one Rattler fan says, I'm sure you guys heard what happened Saturday night. 4 separate horrible ref calls. We were definitely robbed by the referees. For some reason, they wanted new blood in the indoor championship. Yeah, the Arizona Rattlers lost by a point to the NAU Wildcats. Or who is this again?
The NAZ Wranglers.
Sure. Anyway, I knew there was a W in there somewhere.
Oh, Wildcats.
Yeah, they were up by a couple touchdowns, and then these Northern Arizona folks came back and beat them. But Rattlers fan is saying horrible officiating.
Yeah, there were a couple there were a couple of really good plays for the Wranglers. I thought they played really well, but there were a couple of calls in near the end of the fourth quarter that are beyond questionable, including a egregiously missed holding call.
So not just a number one Rattler fan saying it, you saw it with your own eyes. Bad officiating.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. I'll take that because nothing personal, number one Rattlers fan, but just by nature of your name, I can't really say that you are objective. But I know Keon is, so we'll give you that. So, well, there must be an investigation. That's what I say. There must be an investigation.
I don't know what you investigate though. Just a bad call. Not just one. It was about 3 or 4 over the course of the second half. But
I had to get up at the crack of dawn this morning, and I was traveling about the city today, and I got a chance to listen to the award-winning Jacobs and Helly in the morning.
Lucky.
And Helly was talking about. He said it was like a tick left on the clock. The kicker was injured. They started to play the play clock while the medical team was still on the field. Still on the field. The medical team was still on field.
But isn't that indoor football rule though at that point?
Well, but the medical team's still on the field, and the Rattlers could not get the 2-point conversion in to win the game. That's what cost them the game.
That was a gigantic factor. Yeah.
So, but I guess it goes to what are the rules in that circumstance?
Well,
they have different rules there than the NFL.
Long as the medical team is on the field, I would think you could not start the game clock.
You know what? They don't care. If you're doing surgery on the field, you better get that play in. They ain't effing around out there, man.
I'm just wondering if the refs had somewhere to go. Maybe they had to go to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Maybe they were late for their reservation.
Kasai's pretty forgiving on those sorts of things, so they must have been trying to get a table at Hooters. Hefty Lefty says, does the commercial have to be word for word, or can it add our own flair? It'd be family friendly, of course, as long as you keep the pertinent information the same and you don't deviate too much. I've heard some deviation in other entries, Nothing serious. If it's too out of line, we will let you know, Hefty Lefty. So Blissful Hayes says, hey Randy, how are them ribs yesterday? They look pretty good.
Oh my God. I tried a new rib recipe yesterday, Jeffco.
Yeah, I saw those pictures too. I was just made me very hangry.
So I 250 degrees on the old smoker.
Did you get invited, Ken? I didn't get invited. I did not get invited.
Well, you guys are always invited. Don't give me this crap.
You didn't
now.
invite us. You didn't say
you're asking me about my rib recipe. I'm trying to explain it. Now
all right, well, let's hear it.
Yeah, do it like my dead mom with all your I never get to come over.
I didn't taste any of this.
Give me a
about
break.
to talk about.
Anyway, 2 racks of baby back ribs. And I tried a new recipe, some new rubs. Oh my God! 2 hours on at 250. Pulled them, wrapped them. Before I wrapped them, brown sugar, a little butter, and some honey. Oh my God! My God!
And you know what? Like your dead mom in heaven, I could only look on from a distance and just imagine
Isn't it time
how those
for on this
tasted.
day, Big Georgia sports history. Nobody wants to hear this lame crap.
From a distance, I can taste your ribs.
Okay. All right. I see how it's going to go down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back of the year 1899, Louisville infielder Honus Wagner stole second, stole third, and home plate during the 4th inning of the Colonels' 7-1 victory over the New York Giants at Eclipse Park. 25-year-old Flying Dutchman would accomplish a single-inning stolen base cycle 4 times, establishing a major league record still sharing today with Ty Cobb. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and another fact, Tim McCarver, Hall of Fame St. Louis Cardinals catcher, was in that game back in 1899.
Okay. Okay. Well, what? I don't get it.
I'm not a Tim McCarver fan.
Oh, you're making it.
Every chance I get, I like to.
That's the first time I've heard you diss
Slap
on
one
Tim
on him.
McCarver. I was trying to
Tim
understand
McCarver.
this. Where did this come
Tim
from?
McCarver.
Are you doing other shows? I don't know.
He's
about?
a chick.
Okay. You want to explain?
Stop being a chick, Tim McCarver.
Hefty Lefty says, Randy, you caught the 6 minutes that Dale was allowed to speak in the morning. Good timing. Blissful Hayes says, Randy's a rapper? No, man. He's a grill master general. That's who he is.
Yeah. You know what? Just because you guys, I am going to figure out a way. I'm going to bring a Weber kettle down to the radio station. I'm going to make, I'm going to smoke something. If we ever get back to the damn radio station.
We can go back anytime you want.
But you're not there, and so I can't grill. And I keep hearing this. I wasn't invited over. Were you invited?
I wasn't invited over.
We were.
Keon, were you invited over?
We don't know what the ribs taste like because we didn't get to see them. I mean, we didn't have any.
It kind of sucked. I don't know. Seeing you.
When we were going to the radio station, I would bring you bags of meat.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what. If you wanna, we'll schedule a day. Why not? I'm for it. Don't offer if you ain't gonna come through, buddy.
Oh, I'll come through.
Right,
Don't worry, I'll come through.
You better come through. But we're not going to advertise this.
I'm not doing a brisket either. I'm doing ribs. That's all I'm doing.
All the listeners are going to show up, and then I won't get any. So we're not going to advertise when this happens. We're just going to say that it had happened. Can we agree to that, please?
So like 3.5 hours max. Ribs are easy.
All right, let's do it. We'll talk off air about it. Seriously.
All right.
I'll even buy the meat.
No.
Why not?
Hey,
if you're going to go through the trouble of doing it, I'll buy the meat.
I don't trust you, but
sounds like he doesn't trust me.
As a grill master, you buy your own meat. You got to pick out your own meat. That's part of the whole thing.
Can I just give you money then? Can I give you money for the meat? You can pick the meat. I'll just give you money. I'll leave it on the dresser. Come on.
We'll split it.
Oh, God. Can we spin the wheel of sports? Let's just do that. I know people are not coming to my house. People in the text line are already talking about coming to my house. No. Okay, can we just all agree? Fake wrestling's not a sport.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Even more so. Ric Flair, 73 years old, had his last, air quotes, match, and he won. Okay. Well, that's really fake. And then he hit a guy with brass knuckles, and the guy lived. But can I tell you, I did watch the video. I had to see what a 73-year-old man is going to do. If you don't think wrestling is fake, watch the video of the Ric Flair match and his little karate chops and the things and all the stuff he was doing and the fake blood. And oh my God. And he was like, can I tell you what it reminded me of? You know, the videos of like the 100-year-old man, and they're like pretending like they're knocking people over as he runs in for the touchdown. He's like, and people are pretending to fall down and they're trying to catch him. That was this match.
Wow.
That was this match. It was an embarrassment. If anybody ever tells you wrestling ain't fake, show them the video of Ric Flair's last match.
I need to go find Ric Flair's. Woo! I got to get that.
It is so sad. It would have been better to just not. But he's like, the guy responds to a barrel slap, just like,
like the original Star Trek. Whenever the Enterprise would turn sideways and everybody's just leaning all over themselves. Yeah,
it was so bad.
Can we hurry up and say goodbye? I got to go eat some of these ribs. You bastard.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use